Everyone forgets a few years ago, there was a woman judge, $30,000 wound up in her bank account.
All right. Finally. So we were talking to ourselves. Well, I was like a retard. I didn't hit the right button. All right, now we're live. We have Stu and Cameron on the line, which I will now introduce.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Because everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
I wasn't bad, though.
I told you what's going to happen, Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
All right, what's happening, guys?
What's going on, man? It's good to be live this time.
Yeah, we're live. Everybody says that we are live. All right. All right, let's talk about this mismatch between Canelo and Rocky Fielding. Do you want to start all over again, Cameron, please?
Yeah, well, like I said, you know, we all knew Fielding was going to lose this fight. You know, nobody was giving Fielding a chance. I actually, like I said, I actually didn't stay up for the fight because, you know, I thought, well, there's no point staying until 4 o'clock in the morning to watch this fight. So I got up in the morning and watched it, and like I said, I thought it was worse than I actually thought it would be before the fight. You know, there is levels to this, and Fielding's never beat a top guy. I think Fielding has improved, to be fair, over the last few years, but this is just levels. And, you know, you saw what Canelo could do in there. You know, he was just landing at will with the body shots. Fielding couldn't make any adjustments. He was coming forward in straight lines, and Canelo loves those type of fighters, you know, flat-footed, one-dimensional. And, you know, Fielding, people will say, you know, he's tall, he's got the reach, but that's only effective if you know how to use it, and he just didn't. It was a sparring session for Canelo. He's had tougher sparring in his camp, 100%. You know, Fielding went in there, and you know he knew he was getting outclassed early on. You know, you saw the way he went down his face when he was down the canvas. He knew he was way out of his depth. But at the end of the day, he got, you know, he sold this belt. This is what's happening. You know, he sold his belt, and you know, it was just a chance for Canelo to go up there, and you know, very clever matchmaking for Canelo by his management to get that fight. You know, it was a belt. But yeah, it was a poor fight in terms of actual, you know, competitiveness and things like that. So yeah, disappointed, but you know, the result was pretty expected.
All right. Stu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Say again?
Your thoughts on the fight?
Oh, well, what can I say? It was a fucking... The whole thing was a shambles, really. Embarrassing to watch. Rocky Fielding, I mean, this looked like a man that was beaten before the fight was even fucking announced. I mean, just looked like a deer in headlights. And I don't want to hear about how brave he was. I mean, the British Sky broadcasting service. Oh, no matter what happens now, this is like in the second, third round. No matter what happens now, he's given a good account of himself. No, he hasn't. He's been on his ass 3 times already. He's getting whooped. It's the fucking third round. He hasn't. You know, fair enough if he's hanging around in the 9th or the 10th and he's still, you know, fair enough. But this is the 2nd or 3rd round. He's been dropped many occasions. Every time Canelo lands to the body, he's fucking nearly, well, his bowels are nearly dropping out of his fucking ass. So it was just a matter of time. It's just embarrassing. I mean, this guy, in years to come, this guy can go around and tell everyone, I was a WBO champion of the world. I mean, it's amazing. What other sport can a guy? I mean, I don't mean to discredit Rocky Fielding, but come on, man. I'm here to tell it as it is. That was a shambles, a disgrace. That guy, in years to come, can tell everyone that he was the WBO super middleweight champion of the world, and that just shows you how embarrassing boxing has become. And let's be real. Let's look at the facts here. Rocky Fielding is the 5th best super middleweight in the UK.
No, he's not.
Never mind.
He's not.
Huh?
Which rankings are you looking at? I mean, there's no commentary.
It's true, though. It's true.
Let me finish, Butcho. He is the 5th best super middleweight in the UK. The Gal's done a lot more than him at super middleweight. Eubank is a better fight for me than him. Callum Smith knocked him out in a round. George Groves is a much better fighter. You know, he's the 5th best super middleweight in the UK. Canelo Alvarez is a special talent. Like I said, I always give Canelo credit. Just a really top fight, but I can't praise him for that because it's levels to this game, and that was a cherry pick of the highest order.
It's a good point, actually, because it was during the second round when Fielding got up, and no, it might have been in the first round, actually. Adam Smith, as soon as Rocky Fielding started throwing some punches back, Adam Smith was like, he's brave and things like that. And I had to turn the commentary off after listening to that. It was literally about a minute into the first round after he got dropped.
Yeah, I thought Stu was gonna say 5th in the world super middleweight. It's like, no fucking way. I mean, that guy is probably.
Well, this is why you got to let people finish. Like, in the UK, bro, not the world, in the fucking UK. And if Billy Joe Saunders decides to go up, he's 6th.
I mean, is he even better than is he much better than John Ryder? I mean, let's be real.
He's about that level. He's about that level, man.
Right,
so this is the levels we're talking about. And let's be real. I mean, Canelo, he looked like a monster in that at 168. I mean, the amount of muscle he's put on, or the amount of weight he's put on in that time, very alarming, shall we say? But a special talent. When I said top 2-3 pound per pound for me.
All right, let's get Big Boys Boxing in here. What's up, man? And give us your thoughts on the fight. Oh, probably went to take a shit. Big Boys. Going once.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it was pretty much what was to be expected. I was pretty disappointed with Rocky Fielding's heart. He was beaten before he even stepped in the ring. Didn't utilize a jab to keep the distance. Didn't land a lot on Canelo. He was trying to survive, and even that wasn't working. So, you know, it was what it was. I don't think we can blame Canelo for a cherry pick. Fielding had a belt, so he wanted the belt. Simple as that. And yeah, he's made a mark at 168 as well now, so onwards and upwards.
Yeah. All right. Well, we all said what we had to say about this fight. Our thoughts about basically what a mismatch this shit was. Now, let me just go through some... Go ahead.
The thing is, he weren't really hurt either. Was this guy? I mean, we keep hearing how brave he was, but didn't look like a hurt man to me. He kept looking in the corner.
No.
What shall I do? Shall I stay on my? You know, shall I get up or shall I stay down? I kept looking to his corner. Don't get me wrong. Them shots were big shots, but I don't think he was like paralyzed, hurt sort of thing where you just can't get up.
He was smiling, man, during those knockdowns.
Yeah.
All right. Those shots, you could see his body was turning purple. So yeah, he was getting back up, but he kept going down more easily every time.
Yes,
so.
Just not durable. I mean, don't get me wrong; they were world-class shots, technically world-class, and I could feel them through the screen. But for me, he didn't show he was hurt. They were hurting him, but he didn't show the reaction of like a body shot that paralyzed you. Like, you know, some shots you see him, you're rolling on the floor, screaming for air. They weren't that sort of body shots. They were hurting him, but he was looking at his corner. Shall I stay down? Shall I get up? I mean, sold his title for a paycheck. I mean, let's be real. Rocky Fielding through that camp, he probably wasn't even thinking about Canelo when he was going to bed. He was thinking about what to spend the money on because he knew the outcome.
Well, yeah. Now, let's talk about that. Fielding's plan was obviously not to use his reach and his size. Well, his size. I mean, he
doesn't know how to, man.
He doesn't know how to. So he just, I guess he decided, well, he looks so much smaller than me in height. I'm just going to try to push Canelo back. And it obviously didn't work. And he was just shelling up the whole time. And Canelo was just swinging those body shots. because and he knew that Fielding wasn't going to throw anything back, and when he threw something back, it was pathetic. I mean, it was basically arm punches.
He just doesn't have the footwork to get away from Canelo. If you watch Canelo, he has got much better at closing down the ring, and you know he's just a lot better at it now. And he's quite hard to get away from. I mean, when he was fighting Trout, he'd just follow Trout around the ring constantly, and didn't have a clue. But he's a lot more schooled now at cutting down the ring. And Rocky Fielding just doesn't have the footwork or the legs to get away from someone like Canelo. So he had to sit there and just trade with him and hope something happened, because it was just he couldn't outbox him because he didn't have the ability. He couldn't outfight him because he wasn't strong enough. I mean, it was just which way do I get beaten? So I might as well just have a little go, and then people can say I was brave, like Adam Smith at Sky.
I think Fielding was so bad that he doesn't have any ring awareness. He didn't even know where he was, and then ended up on the ropes multiple times because he doesn't even know where he is. And so he ends up on the ropes, invites Canelo to come in and starts throwing those fucking body shots and uppercuts. I mean, his ring IQ is not even there. His punching power is not all that. I'm talking about Rocky Fielding. I didn't expect that, to be honest. I expected it to go to 8 rounds maybe. Even Canelo said that after the fight. He said, like, I was expecting this guy to use his, his reach, his jab, move around and make it a bit complicated. But no, he just made it very easy for Canelo.
This is a guy. This is a guy who got blown away in a round by Callum Smith. We don't.
Oh yeah. That. All right, another thing. Some people are complaining about this fight.
Eddie Hearn's sorry, Butcho. Yeah. Eddie Hearn's a disgrace as well. An absolute fucking disgrace for putting Rocky Fielding in there and throwing him to the wall. Right. And he sat there with a smile, like Fielding had a chance. Absolute disgraceful move. I mean, this guy claims he wants to do the best for boxing, yet he feeds us that shit.
All right, let's talk about that.
I know he's Golden Boy, but still, he had something to do with that card.
Let's talk about that, Stu, because that's what I wanted to get into. Okay, so now some people are saying that he sold his belt. I think Nordic Warrior said that that fight might have been fixed. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's what I kind of understood.
No, it wasn't fixed, man, but he definitely sold out his belt.
Okay. Well, what do you mean sold out his belt? By the
well, like he didn't want. As soon as he found out levels, he didn't want any more part of it. He didn't want any more of it.
You think he could have done more?
He was getting beat up around the ring, and he thought, he could have carried on that fight. Like Stu said, for me, he didn't look hurt, man. When he went down, he went down. It wasn't like a bad knockdown. It wasn't like Stu said, it wasn't ripping in pain. He could have carried on, man, but he didn't want any more part of it.
Well, the ref stopped it though. It's New York, by the way, so we know how they are.
He took a knee, though. I feel like he took a knee, didn't he? He didn't like get knocked down. He just went down, didn't he? Like it didn't go down. He went down very slowly, man.
Are you saying he could have taken?
Can I just address Azzy in the chat? Him or she, whoever it is. I know.
Yeah.
They're saying about am I saying that Rocky Fielding should have not taken the fight? I'm not saying Rocky Fielding should not have taken the fight, because he's a fighter and he's there to make money, and there's no better money than Canelo. So I'm not blaming. I'm blaming Eddie Hearn for putting on, for basically feeding us that. He's talking about DAZN going forward in the States. They've just signed Canelo, and he feeds him Rocky Fielding. He could have said, "Nah, let Rocky have a couple of easy warm-ups in the UK, and then we'll find him at a fight at UK level, because that's where he is." He could have been, but he's gone and stuck him in with Canelo, and he's sold us a load of garbage. I know him and De La Hoya sold us a load of garbage, and we have to. That card was a disgrace, man. It was a disgraceful card. How many times is Katie Taylor going to rescue the card in these States? I don't care about her either. I don't. Sorry, I don't care about
I understand,
Katie Taylor.
But
always a 12-round war fest.
All right, let me say something.
Sorry.
You're saying that...
I'm just angry, bro. I'm angry.
That's okay. So Rocky Fielding, you believe that he should have just stayed in the UK and have some more UK type of fights? Why not just go for a payday, though? I mean, here's what I want to point out. We knew that usually Canelo only fights in May and September, so twice a year. Now, this time around, he decided to add another fight in December. And when he announced that he was going to fight in December, we all knew he wasn't going to fight a Golovkin or a Charlo or a Saunders or Andrade, right? Andrade. So we knew he was going to be fighting basically a tune-up fight. So I don't know why people are acting all surprised now that
this is a sparring session, not a tune-up.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's just Rocky. Like I said, Rocky angry at the promoters and DAZN for putting that on than I am for Rocky Fielding for taking the fight, because Rocky's going to have, of course he's going to take the fight. You offer him that sort of money against Canelo Alvarez in the States, you'd be a mug not to take the fight. I'm more angry with the promoters for feeding us that shit. Rocky Fielding, like I said, he is the 5th best super middleweight in the UK. That's how that's like putting Rod Solker in front of Danny Garcia, and look at the stick Garcia got for that.
What's the
embarrassing that this? How did this guy have a belt? Ridiculous.
How is this a tune-up fight as well? Like, how is it a tune-up fight? Like, what are we saying this is a tune-up for?
For May. That's what apparently that's what.
If he fights someone at 160, it's not a tune-up, right? Like, there's rumours that he's going to be fighting Danny Jacobs next year now.
Yeah, well, there's rumors that he's not going to be fighting Golovkin or Jacobs in May, but we're going to get that later on. But initially, and I think we all knew this was a general consensus that it was going to be a tune-up in December, and then it was going to be another major fight in May. Do we agree on this, or do you guys didn't know this? Like,
yeah, we all knew this. Yeah.
Okay, so we knew it was going to be a tune-up fight. Now, none of us, and I have the prediction somewhere, none of us predicted that Fielding was going to lose in 3 rounds, did we? I think we all said like 8th round, late in the fight.
No, I think if you go back, I said about 3 or 4 rounds, it'd be over.
Okay? I'm gonna find the paper. Okay.
I don't even think I made one actually.
I didn't make the actual show on Wednesday because I had company, but I remember months ago I said it was a horrible fight and it wouldn't last long. The guy's just not durable enough. Canelo Alvarez is a monster. I mean, the guy is a world-class puncher. That is one thing, just top pound-for-pound fighter. And Rocky Fielding is the 5th best super middleweight in the UK. So this is where we are. And this is why I'm a bit angry about this performance, about this card. And like I said, even if they'd put some competitive undercard on, it would have sweetened me up a little bit. But no, we got bum undercards.
What was the undercard?
Okay. Well, Lemieux was supposed to fight Turiano Johnson. But as we all know, Lemieux didn't make...
his fouls couldn't make weight again.
Yeah, ended up in the hospital. And then we have Tevin Farmer against... I forget. That was a boring-ass fight, man. I was falling asleep.
Oh, it's terrible. And what about the fight before that? Mauricio Herrera was... I mean, he looked like... Oh, my God. He looked like Chavez Sr. in there. Yeah. The way Chavez looks now. I mean, that's how old he looked and fat and out of shape. He looked horrible.
It was a bad card.
Yeah, it was a terrible card.
Terrible card.
And this is the thing of DAZN. I mean, I've been backing the DAZN. I don't really blame them. I blame Eddie Hearn and Oscar, but DAZN have to step up and say, look, if we're going to pay you we want a decent fight. Jacobs has got to be next. Someone like that, Jacobs or Saunders, has to be next.
Can I say so, Rob? I'm just looking at the chat, and a lot of people are saying that Canelo's. Obviously, Stu said that Canelo's a world-class puncher. There's people in the chat saying Canelo's a world-class cherry pick. I mean, come on, man.
That's the thing. That's what I'm hearing. Some people are saying he's a hype train, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, listen, at the end of the day, these people are going for their emotions, and they're not using their boxing knowledge, because a lot of these guys have got a lot of boxing knowledge and clearly know what they're talking about, but they get emotional about Canelo, and their brains go, and they become morons. So, just let your emotions get out of the way. I know Golovkin got robbed in the first fight. I accept that. But you can't turn around and call Canelo Alvarez a bum or a cherry picker or whatever. The guy is a world-class talent. If you can't see that, then you know absolutely zero about boxing. It's simple as that. But I like to think you guys do. I like to think you guys know exactly what you're looking at.
This is a guy who fought Golovkin twice before this fight. Come on, man. Come on.
All right, guys.
I mean, look at take away Pacquiao. He's got the best resume in the sport, for God's sake.
Yeah, we can't call him now. If he keeps fighting Rocky Fieldings of the world again and again, then of course we're gonna criticize him. But like I said, he fought Golovkin in September. Whether you think he won that fight or not, that's fine. He was a competitive fight. We can't deny that. And then he fights Rocky Fielding in December, which is a tune-up. Let's be honest, it's called a tune-up. And now he's gonna fight in May. Now we're gonna have to wait and see who he fights in May. If he fights another Rocky Fielding, like I said, then okay. You have the right to get angry. So okay, let me just get this straight. Stu, you are pissed off because Eddie Hearn put Fielding against Canelo? Like, what else did you want to... What would you have preferred to see instead of Rocky Fielding?
Look, I'm pissed off because it was just a waste of a card. It was just a waste of £40 million. So Canelo got paid. It was just a waste. Everything about it. The whole card was. I want to see good boxing. I don't want to. Look, fair enough. Canelo's come off a war with Golovkin. Then rest. Don't. If you ain't going to take a decent fight, when you're getting 30 million for it, it's like Floyd when he used to get 30, 40 million to fight the Bertos, 50 to fight the Bertos in this world. I was saying the same thing. You know, at the end of the day, we want to see the best fight. Canelo is a pound for pound fighter, and Rocky Fielding is a Euro level fighter, if that. So I was disappointed with the whole card. I'm not disappointed at Rocky Fielding because he's going to take the fight. If Canelo rang me up tomorrow to take the fight, I'll take it. I'll get my ass whooped, but I'll collect my money.
Yeah. All right.
So I don't blame him for that.
Go ahead.
Could be one of the downfalls of paying Canelo so much as they don't want to pay anybody else to get on the card decent money, you know. So
yeah, that's exactly an article that I read in Boxing Scene, and the question that was being asked was, does the zone have anything to say with who Canelo's gonna fight? Because obviously the zone, they don't want Canelo to just be fighting tomato cans, right? And so they're probably gonna be pushing. Go ahead.
Go on, bro. Sorry.
Well,
no, go on.
Danny Jacobs is a free agent right now, and I'm pretty sure that the zone's plan is to get either Jacobs or Canelo, sign them to the zone, and then force a Canelo fight with one of those two fighters. Because again,
well, I'm pretty sure that the zone in that contract they're gonna make it back. I know they've probably took a hit for this shithouse show, but they're gonna pay Canelo 33 million to fight. They paid him to fight Fielding, but he's also going to get paid 33 million to fight someone like Jacobs and Saunders. So it's going to even itself out. But I'm talking about a brand that's new in America, that's trying to get people on side. And you've got Eddie Hearn and De La Hora fucking putting on this shit fest.
There's a bit breaking news.
Hold on, Cameron. But can you just say something before you continue? I want to thank Mr. Coxey for his contribution. He gave us some 4,000 Hungarian something. All right, thank you, Mr. Coxey, for being a loyal follower. And yeah, Cameron, go ahead, continue, man.
No, I'm just there's something on Twitter I've just seen from Mike Coppinger. Who's pretty reliable with pretty good breaking news. It's not really breaking news, but he says, according to sources, heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua's next fight could come against Jarrell Miller during springtime in New York. Joshua currently ticketed for April 13th in the UK, but those plans could change. So apparently the Miller fight's in negotiations for America. Fuck's sake.
No.
Well, there we are. There we are.
Yeah.
Let's just make it clear. I just want to make it clear that I'm not having a dig at DAZN. I praise the DAZN for putting £1 billion into a corrupt sport that is very hard to make money from. So I respect them for that. I'm angry with De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn feeding us that shit fest, and it weren't just this shit fest. Eddie Hearn has put on a couple of shit fests in America now, and in the UK. His Kell Brook card was an absolute disgrace. It really was, and I'm getting angry.
I
agree, man. I think that the zone cards so far in the US have been horrendous. Hearn needs to deliver big next year because this year's been terrible.
All right, but hold on. If it would have been presented with this mismatch, Canelo Fielding, and a good undercard, would you have been complaining? Any of you?
It depends on the undercard. I mean, the problem is, like Stu said, I mean, if you've got a shit main event, we've had loads of shit main events. Let me give you an example. When Kell Brook fought Frankie Gavin, I watched that entire card because you had a good undercard. You know, Selby Gradovich, Mitchell Linares. So if you've got a good undercard with, you know, two real good world title fights with, you know, top guys in good fights that you think, you know what, I can see the guy winning, then it's different. But when you've got Canelo Fielding and with the undercard, like you said, like Stu said, you just sat through it and you're thinking, why did I just even bother watching that? And the fact is, if there was a better undercard, it would be more appealing. But the main event was still trash. You know what I mean? And everybody tunes in for the main event.
let's be real. I mean, Cameron, look behind you. That empty room. That's the fan base Tevin Farmer brings. So just look behind. That's what Tevin Farmer brings to a fight. Very talented, skilled guy. I do like the guy. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a very talented guy. But the guy has 4 defeats and a draw. It's not going to get the appetite going for, you know. Do you know what I mean? You've got to put on a guy even a guy that's decent from New York. You could have put Baby Miller on that fucking card. Do you know what I mean? Because someone like that, you know, just to spice the card up a little bit, but it was just a card from. I mean, Saddam Ali. I don't think I've ever seen Saddam Ali. Man, the only exciting fight I've seen Saddam Ali was when he was sparked out cold on the canvas by Jesse Vargas. The rest, he's been absolutely horrible to watch. So, you know, it was just a horrible card. Let's be real, wasn't it? Just like that shitfest Kell Brook card, and the other one, and the one in Boston, and the one in Kansas, wherever it was, terrible.
Well, I see. So,
and also you got to remember that it's just been announced that Demetrius Andrade, who is now fighting at Akavov, who Billy Joe Saunders fought as a headliner in March, I think. So, again, another poor headliner, right, for the zone.
Yeah, well, we knew going in that
I'll give Frank Warren stick, but that Josh Warrington card actually looks quite decent because Billy Joe's on it now, I think, isn't he? That Frampton Warrington card.
Oh yeah.
There's a few. Yeah, but there's a few decent fights on that card. I'll be watching that. I think. Fuck Chisora White. It's just another matchroom fanboy card.
I'm watching the Warrington Frampton card.
Well, is that Frank Warren?
If you're a boxing fan, if you're a boxing fan, if you appreciate boxing skills, then you'll watch Frampton and Warrington. If you like just watch big guys punch shit out of each other, then Chisora White will be the one to watch. It just depends what you want. But I think I'll be watching the Warrington. I'm hoping I can catch both of them.
I think you've got to look at the fact that for me, I don't know what I think. You know, the first fight was really exciting for White Chisora, but I don't think the second fight will live up to it. In fact, I think White will probably box his way to a more clearer decision this time. But I just feel like Frampton Warrington's a really intriguing fight. I really do like that fight. And like you said, the undercard's good as well. Like that's the type of card that I can sit down and watch. Undercard.
I mean, the undercard fight Chisora is Tom Little v David Price, isn't it? I mean, fucking it. I mean, that is an awful fight. Yeah, but you talked about 2 guys that have probably got, I don't know, about 12 defeats between them. I don't know. I haven't seen the records, but these guys, I mean, how is that a main undercard fight? I just don't get it. And so I don't think it's value for money, Chisora White. I really don't.
Your David Price is saying, you know what's going to happen as well. Once David Price wins, he'll be like, you know, I want one of the big top 15 guys, and he'll get knocked out again. It's just the same thing over and over at Price.
Joey Ocean in the chat is making some jokes, and he's saying that Stu is a matchroom hater and an AJ hater.
Yeah, he got upset the other day because I said about AJ losing a bit of respect from the UK fans, and a lot of people started to go. A lot of people have started to go towards Tyson Fury. He's like the national treasure at the moment. I mean, crazy mad because he didn't win BBC Sports Personality, and I've been going on a lot of Facebook pages, boxing pages around, and I've been seeing the opinions, and I've seen the change. Anthony Joshua is getting a lot of heat from the UK fans at the moment because. And this out fight and say you'll have this guy on April the 3rd. He'll fight this guy. He has to because he's getting a lot of heat. So no matter what Joey says, I'm here in the UK, mixing with these people. I'm mixing face to face. Are telling me Fury's the man. Joshua's like the fan. That's because we remember the Povetkin fight, which was not too great. And when you look at Fury and what he's done, then you know he's the one that seemed to be leaning towards at the moment. Go on, come.
I've got a few casual friends who aren't really big on, who weren't big on Fury, but you know, over the past few months, really this year, they have turned and like, they respect Tyson Fury more than Joshua now because of the fact that Fury fought Joshua, and they've kind of just gone off the wagon a bit with Joshua. So it is true. And also, I'll tell you one thing, I find it quite interesting. I mean, I got slaughtered on Twitter for writing this actually, because I said that. I think it's kind of funny that, you know, Joshua found time to go to the Canelo fight, but 2 weeks ago he couldn't find time to go to the Wilder Fury fight, which had everything to do with him. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just found that very interesting. Because he should have been at that fight. If you can go to this fight, why couldn't you go to that fight? I just don't get it.
So
He should have been at that fight.
What's that?
I said Joshua was at the Canelo fight last night. He was in the US. He did a bit of commentary and things like that. But, you know, he didn't have time to go to the Wilder Fury fight a few weeks ago in the US. You know what I mean? I just found that quite funny.
He was in Dubai, I think. It's always in Dubai.
He had sponsorship obligations.
Oh, maybe. Why not? I mean,
I'll tell you what, he would have been. His sponsor. It would have been much better for his sponsors if he'd have been at that fight. He'd have got a lot more people watching him. That's for sure. If he'd have been at the Wilder fight.
The thing is, if he shows up, then it shows that he really wants the fight, like he's desperate for the fight, and that can come into play in the negotiations. I know it sounds stupid, but that's how they think. You know, that's why, like, when they ask Canelo, who do you want to fight next? And he never says anybody. He never mentions a name. Because once he mentions a name, that the other opponent's going to be like, well, you know, you should give me a little bit more money because I know you want to fight me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know, it's pretty stupid.
I think, yeah, Joey's saying we're all AJ haters now, actually.
Yeah. All right. We have McGregor Boxing on the line, and also we have Recognize the Matrix. So let me just introduce both at the same time so I don't have to cut anybody off.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
What's up, guys? And let's start with McGregor because he got here first. All right, go ahead, McGregor.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
What up?
What's the topic, man? I just got home.
Okay.
I just got home.
Just give us your thoughts on Canelo against Rocky Fielding.
He did what he was going to do. He took him out easily. He took him out to the body. There's a lot of background noise off his microphone there. He took him out easily to the body. Whose microphone's that?
I don't know.
All right. Took him out easily to the body. Body shots. More body shots. Fielding didn't use his reach. Didn't use his height. He got beat by a better fighter. Fielding's not a great fighter. Didn't really have heart. Let's be real. We all know why he went there. It was a good payday for him. He's in there. It's a job for him at the end of the day. He'd already achieved everything he wanted to. At the end of the day, we all know that's not a real world title, but to him, he's always going to say that he was a world champion. So, fair play to him. I don't know how much he's made, but it's definitely a career high payday. He'll never make that much again. He headlined that MSG, and he got beat by Canelo. There's no fuss for me. What happened. It was always going to happen from the second the fight was announced.
All right, so no surprises from you. Recognize the Matrix. What's up? And give us your thoughts on the fight.
Yeah. First of all, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. I'm not using no headphones today. So anyway, so I'm just using the speaker. So you guys let me know if I start fading out or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I kind of, you know, I'm kind of gonna say the same thing McGregor said. Basically, you know, Fielding was just there to collect a paycheck. You know, excellent body work from Canelo, who looks like he was just basically hitting a punching bag. He was actually measuring his shots. You never want Canelo to do that shit. You don't want a guy to see such an easy target, especially like Canelo, where he's actually measuring his shot, you know. And like McGregor said, man, he was just there to lay down. You know, it was nice work. It looked like Canelo practicing, you know, and his combinations, of course, they look great. I remember just watching that fight with somebody who was just like passing by and just kind of looked at it and said, "Damn, that guy looks great." But you know, they're casual boxing fans, so they don't realize that the guy's just a stationary target. He's just there to get beat up until, you know, he can't take no more. And that's exactly what happened. Canelo did what he was supposed to do. He's in great shape, though. He was in great shape. I give him that.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he? Canelo. I think Canelo looks at his best at super middleweight. I don't think there's many super middleweights that could handle Canelo. I really don't. I think Callum Smith's the only one there that I'd give half a chance to, but the rest they're getting smoked. They are getting smoked. Trust me, man. But Fielding was actually showing when he was hurt, which is another thing you don't do. You don't let your opponent know that you're hurt. And Fielding was actually wincing and fucking hell, you could see he was hurt every shot. I mean, it was just like you said, a punching bag. But at least a punching bag survives. At least a punching bag survives more than 9 minutes. You know what I mean?
The punching bag doesn't show any emotions.
Yeah, it can take a shot to the body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the fact that he was 6'3" didn't play to his advantage when it came to fucking those body shots. I mean, the body was right there to get hit on. How tall was he? Like 6'2" or 6'3", or how tall was he?
6'3".
Yeah, I'm gonna say he looks 6'3" because if Canelo's listed at what is it, 5'9"?
Yeah,
5'8", 5'9", somewhere around there. He clears Canelo by 5 inches at least in height.
He's legit though 6'3". He is legit 6'3".
Yeah. But a 6'3" punching bag is what he is.
Yeah.
I like the way Canelo, when he comes forward, he gets behind that guard all tight. He tucks himself up, then he just walks forward with a swagger and lets his hands go. And there's not many better sights in boxing when Canelo's throwing his hands. Technically superb when it comes to throwing. And like I said, I just think him and Golovkin would go through that super middleweight division. I think like Callum Smith's the only one that can stand up, probably hold his own to a certain degree.
Kind of looks like a small Mike Tyson in there. Fuck.
For me, that's the guy that gives.
So again, but
that gives him, yeah, Callum Smith.
I think with Callum Smith, I think he'd use his range and his distance as well. He's quite a decent boxer on the back foot. He can use his jab and get out of the way. Fielding didn't know because he hasn't got the legs and he hasn't got the know-how. He just didn't know how to get away from Canelo. Where I think Callum Smith would be a lot better at doing that. That's for sure. So I think he'd last a lot longer. And I think Smith could hurt Canelo. I'm not saying he'd stop Canelo because Canelo's got a neck like a fucking 800-year-old bark tree. So you're not going to knock him out anytime soon. But I could get his respect at least. And I think Smith definitely has the power to do that. Fielding doesn't.
Yeah. Even George Groves. I mean, these people can hit. I mean, Rocky Fielding, get out of here with that. His punching power, just based looking at his punching technique, he cannot generate any power like that. There's no fucking way. But you have guys like Groves and Callum Smith, and now these guys can. Even Zurdo Ramirez. I mean, I know he's not proven yet, but
yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple of guys in super middleweight. That I can see offering up a challenge to Canelo or Triple G, especially Triple G now because he's a little older. You know what I'm saying? But to both of them, it's guys like Uzgatigwe. Who else?
David Benavidez.
Benavidez, of course. You got to give Benavidez these, and even Ramirez, because those guys got height and they're not gonna just stand there. In the fact that they got height and weight, and they're not just gonna stand there for you to just tee off on them. You're gonna have to do other things as the smaller man with a lot of experience, and I get that. But they still offer a challenge because if that shit doesn't work out, your experience doesn't work out. You're gonna get beat by the bigger, younger fighters. You know what I'm saying? If all plays out, so there's some challenges for them. But I think the one that stands out to me that can probably beat both of them. Not that I would pick them, but has the better chance of beating both of them. And maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment. Is Callum Smith because of his because he's 6'3" as well, and he fucking throws he has some mean punches when he commits to them.
Now
he does. I think that super middleweight probably suits him down to the ground, and not for his attributes. When obviously he's not the size of him. He's stocky, but he's not really got the height or the frame to be like a super middleweight, really. But I just like him at that weight because he's strong, and I think his power seems to have carried up because. when you're healthy at the weight, you throw your shots are a lot harder. You feel better when you're throwing them, and you feel stronger. And I think Canelo is draining himself for years. I don't think we've actually seen the best of Canelo Alvarez because he's constantly draining himself to make weight all the time because he's a stocky lad. But I think super middleweight probably is his natural division, and I think if he could grow into that division, I think it could be a real problem. But I got a feeling he'll go back down again.
Yeah, if he stays elusive while bringing up that weight, man, he's gonna be a problem, man. Because these big guys are gonna have to protect their body. If he's elusive and he's packing that weight, I can see Canelo's game plan fighting these 6'2", 6'3" guys is to go to the body.
Now, I was talking to
Mr. If he had fought James DeGale in there, James DeGale would have no teeth now. He wouldn't have any left.
No, he would.
They'd be all gone.
I was talking to Mr. BDA about.
Off the
I was talking to Mr. BDA about the fight, and he told me that now people should understand why Chavez Jr. wasn't really willing to trade with Canelo. This guy can fucking hit, man. You guys remember how Canelo was hitting Chavez to the body and upstairs? Those body shots, they fucking hurt, man. And so
I never saw the conspiracy that Chavez Jr. was there just to collect a paycheck, and he was told basically not to hit back. Look, I always saw it. I said, look, he's not gonna trade with Canelo because Canelo's just better. He's just gonna beat him to the punch every single time. He's acting like a guy who doesn't want to get hurt, So, to me, I agree, Bucho. Like, yeah, look, Fielding is a bum. I'm not here to tell you that Fielding is this great fighter, and that's a great win for Canelo. What I'm looking at is Canelo looks really strong at super middleweight. That's all I was looking at.
Yeah, he does.
And I want to see him. I want to see him commit to the body.
Yeah, I mean, how many super middleweights could actually hang around with them punches constantly hitting them? I don't think there's many that's going to suck that up. I know Fielding, everyone calls him folding now, is not very durable. I get that, but I don't think there's many super middleweights out there that would have took that. I think Groves could have been eating the canvas as well if he'd have been in there. So yeah, he's a problem, that Canelo.
All right. Now I've noticed that we. By the way, if you guys can see on the screen, I posted the top 10 super middleweights according to Ring Magazine, and I noticed that we keep talking about Canelo in the 168 division, but I think that what's going to be happening is that, and what most people think is going to be happening, is that he's going to go back down to middleweight. So let's take this conversation about Canelo's future opponents in the middleweight division. So which names do we have in the middleweight division? We have Charlo, we have Golovkin, David Lemieux, Rob Brandt, who I think would be.
Oh, Charlo doesn't even have an opponent, I believe. Didn't Monroe fail a drug test or something?
No, I'm hearing he's fighting Korobov. I'm hearing that.
That's official now. He's fighting Matt Korobov.
And I think
he's fighting Matt Korobov.
And you got to understand something, Stuart. Matt Korobov was on the undercard, scheduled to fight at 168 in an 8-round fight.
Oh no! Shocking.
So think about
Korobov's.
Korobov now has to cut 8 more pounds.
I mean, this is going right.
Like I said,
this was a setup. This was a setup.
Yes.
This was a setup.
I'll tell you what, right? It's just funny how a lot of these PBC fighters, I mean, it's their opponents always getting bested, never them. I mean, Saddam Ali the other night, he must have had 40 boils on his back. Honestly, the guy, I had to turn over because I just didn't want to look at this guy's back anymore. It was absolutely disgusting. This guy, if that guy is not on steroids, then I've never seen a steroid user. Yeah, because he's with Al Heyman, he's allowed to take what he wants. Yeah, you're one of his opponents. God forbid you take a locket sweep for a sore throat.
Listen, Stuart, this was a setup. This was a setup. Willie Monroe, is not a threat. It's not that he's a threat to, although if you do have an off night, he'll outbox you, right?
I don't believe. I agree with you. He's not a threat. It's not about that.
it's not about that. It's about comparing his performance against Willie Monroe. And we in BDA, we have talked about it, especially me. I said, no, he has to beat Willie Monroe by knockout. If not, he's a nobody, right? And maybe I'm over exaggerating, but there's a good chance that he could have went 12 rounds with Willie Monroe, right? So they asked him out. You got Matt Korobov that is scheduled to fight that night at super middleweight. So now he has to cut 8 pounds, and he's fine with it, of course, because he's a fighter. And he just wants, maybe it's more money, right? I'm going to assume that it's more money now to be part of the co-main event or the main event. So he's going to cut the 8 pounds. He's going to be a little bit drained, a little bit weary, and you'll see Charlo win by knock. Listen, Charlo's a joke. It's not that he's not a good fighter. He's a good fighter, okay? He's got a lot of power.
All right.
But Charlo is a joke. His fan base are the bigger joke. All 10 of them. This is stupid what happened. And if anybody can't see that, go fuck yourself. Like, at this point,
yeah, hold on.
I don't want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, man.
All right. Hold on.
Thing.
Because we're getting off. I had written stuff down here. Let's just finish with Canelo, and then we're going to get to the second part of the show, which is obviously we're going to be talking about Charlo against Korobov and all that. So let's just finish this topic. Let me just go through what I wrote here. So, all right, Canelo. Who is he going to fight? Apparently, somebody at Golden Boy, or I don't know if it was the lawyer himself, said that Canelo might not even fight Jacobs or Golovkin in May. I guess because the plan was for Canelo to fight David Lemieux, but now that David Lemieux was in the hospital and didn't even fight, then I hope those plans changed. I also hope that the DAZN fucking told Canelo, hey, listen, you gotta fight Jacobs or Golovkin or Charlo in May, because you can't just keep on fighting B-type level fighters. Another thing that I wrote here is that there's rumors that Canelo might fight in the Azteca Stadium in Mexico, so that would be huge. That would be in December 2019. So he's gonna try to repeat what Chavez Sr. did in the 90s. Let's see, what else? Well, you guys, a question again. So who do you want Canelo to fight in the middleweight division?
Jacobs.
Yeah, I'll go Danny Jacobs. Easiest fights to be made. There's no promotional issues, because we know that goes on quite a bit over there. A lot of fighters always using promotional issues to duck out fights. That can't happen with this one. I'd like to see Danny. I think Jacobs has earned the right. He's had a close fight with Golovkin. He's world title holder. He's a very good fighter, Danny Jacobs, and I think he's earned his right to fight Canelo. He deserves the pay. It's going to be a good fight as well. He's going to give Canelo a lot more problems than Rocky Fielding did. That's for sure. I'll still pick Canelo to win it, by the way.
All right,
it'll be a better fight.
I'll pick Canelo to beat everybody at middleweight.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't even know if we can predict who he's gonna fight next. It's so unpredictable. Yeah, you're right. Let's move on, because we don't know shit. I mean, we have a list.
I'd like to see him fight Andrade or Jacobs. I'd be cool with either one of those fights next at middleweight. Either of them.
Yeah, man. I just don't think Andrade's fought anybody a note to really still.
The thing is,
he's a good fighter, man.
Andrade, that could be over quite quick. I think Canelo could go through Andrade quite quickly. He's not very durable. We've seen that, and Canelo's hitting extremely hard at the moment. I don't see that going too long.
I thought Jack Colkay showed that Andrade has flaws. Then he's there to be hit.
Colkay beat the brakes out of Andrade. Let's be real. He had him rocked all over the place in the last round. Nearly stopped him. The ref, the bell saved Andrade that day. And Canelo Alvarez is a different monster altogether than Colkay.
It's hard to say, like Butcher. It's hard to say. I mean, Canelo. I mean, he could drag Lucian Butte out for a fight in May. You just don't know. I mean, he seems to drag out anybody. But I like Canelo, man. I'm a big fan. I want to see him fight Jacobs. I think that's the best fight out there for him at middleweight. Anyway, I don't want to see a Golovkin third fight. I just don't want to see that.
So Canelo, apparently, what I think his plan is going to be for 2019 is the same as this year, or somewhat, like 2 fights. I know he didn't fight in May of this year, but he was supposed to. So it's basically a fight in May, fight in September, and then a fight in December. And maybe the December fights are the tune-up fights. Who knows? But
Yeah, I can see that because it's close to the holidays, and
it's close to September.
Cinco de Mayo is a big holiday, and he'll fight somebody good. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with the guys. I would like to see him fight Jacobs. Honestly, I think he'll knock Jacobs out. I
agree.
I think Jacobs will give him a good fight while it lasts, but he'll just be getting set up by Canelo. Canelo's punching power to the body, and then going on top will be a little too much for Jacobs, I believe, and I think he'll stop him.
Yeah,
and you know, and the Jodeci brothers, I don't think they really. I mean, the Charlo brothers.
Casey and JoJo.
Yeah, those two, especially Big Bro, he's a chump. I don't think he really wants to. He wants to fight him, but he wants to fight to get paid. I think the same thing. I think Canelo will beat him if he survives, because he's gonna go into survival mode. You know.
You know what pisses me off about these? You know what pisses me off about Charlo, right? And it really does fucking piss me off. And I put it on Twitter earlier on. Loads of people claim that this guy is avoided, and this is a guy who's on the PBC where no other top middleweight is. These guys don't need Charlo. He's not being avoided. Like DAZN have got all 4 middleweight belts. Canelo's got 2. Jacobs and Andrade got the other 2. And people are out here saying that Charlo's been avoided. If he wants to fight, he needs to go to DAZN, man. He needs to go to. And also, what Recognize said about this, about him fighting Matt Korobov. You know, Korobov, like I said, Korobov has to cut down 8 pounds. Why didn't Charlo? Why didn't they get Tuiano Johnson, who was prepared for 160 pounds this past weekend, and get him in this weekend? Because he was ready for that fight.
That's
exactly.
So fucking true.
Exactly, Cameron. This is what I'm trying to say. But then you'll have these fan bitches, and that's what they are, man. You know that. Listen, Charlo's a joke, bro. Again, this is not about his fighting. His fighting is fine. It's not that bad. It's not elite, but it's not that bad. He's a chump. He's a PBC. He's a PBC privileged child. That's all he is. They're trying to get him to the finish line. That's all they're trying to do.
What are you saying here? Recognize? Are you saying he's overrated, overhyped?
Of course he is. Of course he is. Okay, not to us, because we rate him accordingly, right? I feel like when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to real boxing fans. But when you talk about chumps that dick ride too much, and he's the most dangerous man. This dude with blonde hair is the most dangerous man. Are you serious? Come on, man. Nobody looks at him and fears him. You know,
Cisco is the most. And Cisco is the most dangerous man in boxing.
Man, listen, man. A guy like that usually gets smacked in the street. Like, they be talking shit, you just smack the shit out of them. They're like, shut up, and they just walk away from.
I mean, Charlo. If Charlo had any box at all, or his team, I know Lemieux fouled the weight, so it's a bit sad saying his name. But I think if he was fighting Charlo, he would have made weight. You know, it's just the bum that's put in front of him. Probably had no will to get up in the morning and do it, and I wouldn't either after that opponent. But you know, I think if Charlo was in front of him, I think he could have made it, and I think that would have been a good fight. I mean, both, you know, I just think he needs to fight somebody to make a name for himself. I mean, Willie Monroe's never going to do it. I mean, when Billy Joe fought Monroe, I mean, I didn't even bother watching it. It just didn't interest me at all. You know, I think the weigh-in when Willie Monroe got hit in the bollocks by Billy Joe's son was about the most entertaining thing about that whole fight. Do you know what I mean? So he's got to go, and there's so many big names in that middleweight division. Yeah, the danger man's not even going after any of them, and I find it embarrassing that we're talking about it.
Stuart, he's a hype job. He's always a hype job. That's it. Until proven otherwise.
I've seen things. Yeah, I've seen things in him that tell me he can fight. I'm not saying he's going to beat all these top guys. He can definitely fight, and he can punch a little bit. You know? Yeah, but we just don't know right now because the guy he's fighting. I mean, they're falling over, aren't they? I mean, he's hitting them and they're falling over. So
yeah, Willie Monroe got busted for an adverse finding, whatever the fuck that means. Maybe Cameron. I know Cameron's up on a lot of this stuff, so maybe he could explain what that means. But it was for an adverse finding. This was set up, man. This was set up. Listen, the boy is not. It's not that they're not confident in him. They just feel like they need to when they take the training wheels off, they feel like they still need to guide him by holding his back and making sure that he doesn't fall over. Okay, just to get to the finish line. This is all that was. They're gonna take the weaker link, Korobov, because of weight. You know, he has to cut 8 pounds. He's gonna be weary, and you're gonna see a nice knockout by.
And then he's gonna and then he's gonna prance around the ring, you know, shouting and screaming like he's achieved something,
like
he's knocked some
something. And his bum ass fans on YouTube are gonna be like, "Yeah, I told you this is why they fear him. This is why they fear him."
Yeah.
Listen. Charlo just has to go to a decision with Canelo, and no matter what happens, these fanboys are gonna be saying that Charlo won or it was a draw.
Yeah.
Same thing as Wilder Fury. They're gonna just say that. This is what's happening now with boxing. You go to a 12-round decision, and then it's a draw. No, that's why you have judges.
This is what we're up against these guys. I mean, they think so little of their fighters. I don't think they actually realise they're doing it. They think so little of their fighters that when they actually survive, they class that as a win. It's like when you go to war. You know, when you go to war, just because you survive the battle, it doesn't mean you won. And especially if all your friends around you are dead. Do you know what I mean? So it's embarrassing. It really is. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're not telling it how it is. We're at the stage where we're having to argue on podcasts for hours on end of why a guy won a fight when the whole world knows that he won it. But these people, they won't have it. They'll argue till they're blue in the face.
It's like Triple G when he finally went 12 rounds and it was against Jacobs. Even though he smashed Jacobs' face and dropped him, Jacobs really won that fight. Like, get the fuck out of here. Jacobs really won that fight. Are you crazy, man? How do you judge fights? Like,
hey, Stu, by the way, just to cut off, Stu, are you using speakers or do you have headphones? Stu, do you have headphones or speakers?
I've got speakers. Why?
Oh, because sometimes we kind of hear like an echo.
When
you speak, sometimes.
When we talk, it like comes back at us. So it's like feedback.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what it is. You know what it is when if Stewart doesn't mute himself when other people talk, you can hear us echo. But when he's talking, he's fine. When he's talking, he's fine.
Well, because he has his speakers. Do you have headphones or earphones?
I'll just take them out.
Okay.
I'll just take them out. Fuck it. I'll just take them out. I didn't know. None of you said anything, so I ain't meant to know.
No, I didn't know. It's just, I realized at some point, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound good. You sound good.
We could hear you before, man, very clearly. It's just when we spoke, it was just feedback.
Yeah. It must be the speakers then, bro. I've took them out.
It's gone now.
Can I just say something? Low plays in the fucking chat. He keeps coming back. Obviously, BDA doesn't want him here. Nobody wants him here. Why do you keep coming back? You just want us to block you so you can go around and say that you got blocked. Like, we're not gonna block you, but just leave.
Do you know what makes me not
or shut your mouth
just to shit on the show?
What's that?
Low plays.
He comes back in the chat just to shit on the chat.
I know.
Low plays. Go and put Celine Dion on. My heart will go on. Go and put your Adonis Stevenson's highlight reel. Just go and have a little sob. Go and have a little sob to yourself. Go and have a little sob to yourself.
It's enough, Low plays. I mean, you can be in the chat. We allow you to be in the chat, but stop fucking shitting on everything we say. It's just annoying, man. Or go to the LDPC where you're gonna be called a coon or whatever. And...
Is that BDA in the chat?
Yeah, that's BDA. That's not me. That's BDA.
Yeah, I just got a snitch comment, that's all.
Yeah. Alright. Moving on. Sorry, I think I recognized off. What the hell was
it's alright.
Jesus. Alright. Let's talk about this. Charlo, now he will be fighting Korobov because Monroe Jr. tested positive for a banned substance.
Drain has been.
Yeah, well, I have some info on Korobov. 28-1 with 14 knockouts. He was supposed to fight a Colombian guy named Juan de Angel.
He hasn't fought anybody for years, man. I don't think Korobov's fought anybody of note since he fought Andy Lee, which was what, 4 years ago.
I was gonna say Andy Lee knocked Korobov out.
No,
say no more.
Yeah. But,
Andy Lee wasn't anyone of real note, if we're being honest.
Korobov was beating him every round before that knockout as well. But...
I mean, I think I've had my cold longer than Andy Lee had his belt for. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I feel the same way about this flu, man.
Korobov
Yeah, I've had it since time began.
Korobov did beat Uzcategui in 2014. So that's a big win for him. But that was like 4 years
That's why
ago.
I said he's a has-been.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be a weight drain has-been.
And somehow they're going to give Charlo credit for this amazing knockout.
Of course they are. They're going to be the 10 fans on YouTube, and one of them happens to be Low Place, who I like, but he don't keep it real. I always tell Low Place, you don't keep it real. You don't keep it consistent, like you say, because you shit on everybody else when they do shit like this, but then when it's done the other way around, he gives them a pass. Oh, it's because listen, he ain't failed no goddamn test. If they always knew what all these guys do. This was just a way to get out of it. And your boy Charlo is fighting a shitty fighter because because he has shitty confidence. That's why they don't have good confidence.
Eurobum. That's what Korobov is now. A Eurobum. And no, that's what Charlo's fighting. I mean, Willie Monroe, he's not a great fighter himself, but Willie Monroe would have been a different problem for Charlo.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to survive. He does.
Southpaw.
I mean, he's quite a tricky customer. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't bring much offensively. He's never going to hurt Charlo or win the fight. But he could have been a different sort of problem for him. But we're not going to see that now. We're going to see a Eurobum that's been got knocked out by Andy Lee when he was in his prime. So that just tells you where we are. Do you know what I mean? Matt Korobov.
Yeah,
disgraceful fight.
Monroe Jr. different problems, like you said. He's a southpaw, and I think that Monroe Jr. was gonna go 12 rounds with Charlo. That was my prediction. He's not a bad boxer, I mean, but he's just not at the Golovkin type of level or Billy Joe Saunders. But he's a good boxer, so I think he was gonna go 12 rounds. But anyways, now he's gonna drain.
Just gonna say, apparently Matt Korobov's fight this weekend was actually scheduled to be 162 pounds or 168.
Okay, so it's not that bad then. Who said 168?
I'd like to see Eubank Jr. drop down to middleweight and fight Charlo. I just think that'd be they're at the same level for me right now. I think because Eubank Jr. is not big enough at super middleweight. Just definitely, he's given away so much attributes. He's not going to do much there. He's not. Anyone with a bit of skill on the back foot is going to outbox him. So I'd like him to go back to middleweight, where I think he's at his best, and fight someone like Charlo, because Eubank will come to fight, and then we'll know where Charlo is. Because that's, for me, that's the levels I'm classing him at right now. He might be a little bit ahead of Eubank. There's not much in it.
All right, let's get AA Blunts in here. You can join anytime you want, man. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
What up?
What's going on?
Have you finished with Rocky Field? Have you finished talking about Rocky?
What's that?
Not much to say, man, is there?
Honestly, it was like being in church on a Sunday. The amount of times he just kept kneeling, just like as if there was a priest in the ring. Disgrace. He's shortlisted to get knighthood. He could be on the Queen's New Year's list, couldn't he?
Yeah, he's getting knighted.
He's definitely got that down to a T. I would have liked to see him fight Smith first, and then one of them I took the Canelo fight. I think that would have been better business for both of them. Eddie sailed him right up that river. But good luck trying to sell Callum Smith Rocky Fielding too.
But
both of them with belts would have probably sold the Echo at least. They would have done that.
But pointless fight for me.
Yeah, it's the same. I think it goes the same again. Callum Smith blows right out of there.
Yeah, because for me the belts are starting to they're not meaning much to me anymore. Because when you see Rocky Fielding was a super middleweight champion of the world, and I just said earlier, mate, I said Rocky Fielding is probably the 5th best super middleweight in the UK. Never mind the world. In the UK, he's probably the 5th best super middleweight.
Do you remember when he won that title in Germany? They took him all there.
Yeah.
They just put that fight straight on, and they put the Smith brothers in the commentary, and all they did was say Rocky was shit, he was lucky, that guy was injured, that guy wasn't fit. No credit.
Yeah.
Rocky Fielding, man. I mean, look, he beat Zerga. I mean, Zerga, yeah, he was. I mean, Zerga. I mean, I didn't expect Fielding to beat Zerga, man. I really didn't.
Most people didn't.
No,
to be
I don't
fair.
think Rocky
a lot of
expected to win
people.
that.
A lot of people look at Conor Zweiger as like an upcoming, like genuine, decent super middleweight. Like a lot of people did. He was hyped really big in Germany, and Rocky went in and he fucking starched him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, he looked good against D. Corrales. I watched Zoga fight him twice. I thought he looked pretty good in those. I feel he's going to win this fight.
All right. We are talking about Jermal against Korobov. She's, I guess, a mismatch again. And we also have Jermel fighting Tony Harrison. Now, Tony Harrison was stopped by Jared Curd. He was stopped by Willie Nelson. And then I checked on Willie Nelson's record, and 4 years ago, he fought fucking Bronco McCart. Bronco fucking McCart. So, this guy's a fucking bomb as well. I don't like the use of the bomb. He's not a bomb.
He's actually a good boxer. He's just got no chin.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. He's getting dropped all over, like, 2 times.
He has zero chin, but he's a technically very fucking good boxer. Very good boxer.
Well, his biggest win is Ishii Smith, but then again, who hasn't defeated Ishii Smith? Okay, so he has skills. Well, wait, but does he have any chance against Jermel?
No.
Is it a mismatch?
No.
It's a mismatch.
Mismatches, both of them.
Okay. So this is Fox's first boxing card with the PBC, with that deal that they had with the PBC. Well, it's
so exciting.
Oh, yeah. So we have Jamal fighting, and we have Dominic Brazil as well in that card.
Is Brazil fighting, or is it still TBA?
No, I didn't write it down. Some guy. I'll look it up. But anyways.
To be fair, good on TBA. If he's fighting Dominic Brazil, fair play to him, because he's stepping up from fighting Anthony Yard all the time.
I mean, right now he's fighting Anthony Joshua.
I know, but he's been fighting Anthony Yard for the past 2 fucking fights. I mean, Anthony Yard's fighting him on the next card, isn't it? That he's fighting on, so... Right. Anthony Yard loves a bit of TBA.
Shit. He's fighting a guy called... Brazil is fighting a guy called Carlos Negron. From...
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
That's an easy win.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but...
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Well, it's not an exciting
Yeah,
fight.
I know Carlos Negron. He grew up in... Oh, no, you're talking about... Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody from around my way. I apologize.
No, well, he's a heavyweight.
I mean, what the fuck have we got to do to get some decent fights? 50-50 fights. It's not a lot to ask, is it?
I thought you were talking about Carlos Negron that grew up around where I grew up at.
Is he even in the top 50? I mean, come on, man.
I know he's top 10 most wanted.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure Dave Allen is higher ranked than Carlos Negron.
Oh, God.
Well,
Dave Allen in there in Brazil.
I'll be honest with you, it'd be a harder fight for Brazil because Dave Allen can take punches.
Yeah, he's not bad. That is legit punch bag. I mean, at least he actually stands like a punch bag for 12 rounds.
So
that boy's gonna have serious fucking issues if he keeps taking shots like this. I'll tell you that.
He's got Homer Simpson fucking head, doesn't he? From The Simpsons. Fuck yeah.
Frank Warren head.
He's gonna get hurt, Dave Allen, at some point.
Let me just introduce Apology, man, so he can join in the conversation.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear. She just wanted the drama and you two to fight with her. That's what women do. Your punishment must be harsh, beer. All of you.
Bitches are stupid. I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be.
Yo, what's up, Apology?
Please never interrupt Apology's intro. I get upset.
Apology, don't be in the gym. Do not be in the gym again.
Are you in the gym? If you're in the gym, you're gonna hang up.
I just came from the gym, don't worry.
All right. Any thoughts, Apology, on what we've been talking about? Charlo, whatever.
Real quick on the fielding performance. I mean, pretty simply put, I don't want to see that guy again. I mean, just garbage, man. I don't want to see him again. I don't want to see him any cards. He just gave up. He didn't fight at all. So screw it. And
all right.
Yeah, on Jamal Charlo, I mean, it's typical Al Heyman. It's like Willie Monroe's not like on his level, but he still has to go even lower. So like, what does that say then about Charlo? They know what they got. It's a hard job. He's not really that good. He beat one good opponent who has a weak chin. So just can't wait until Triple G knocks him out or Canelo. So don't really care.
All right. Well, you're a bit harsh on Rocky Fielding. It's not his fault. He was put in this.
Sorry to just change the subject for 5 seconds. You know, we're talking about the females coming into our sports. I've just put the darts on in the World Championship, and there's a fucking woman playing in the man's game. There's a woman playing. She's getting smashed to pieces, but she's there. What the?
Is that
what's going on here?
Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's it. I'm out of here.
Is it mixed gender or something? Like, why is she playing against the man?
No, she's got. I know who she is. She's got hits and everything, and she's a female.
I bet she's fucking hot. I bet she's smoking hot.
She's Anastasia Dobish-Lava.
Yeah, but she's a good player when she's playing females.
I'd turn the TV on.
I mean,
I'd watch that.
She's playing some guy. She's playing some guy that I've never seen. She's playing some guy I've never seen in my life. Yeah, and he's taking her to the cleaners.
He's beating her. He's getting her a whitewash, but he's terrible. He's our white card.
He's terrible. What does that make her then? Fuck's sake.
Anyway, back to the boxing. We better get back to the boxing. I don't want to piss Butcher off. I just thought I'd bring that one out because I just turn the darts on. I'm seeing a female on the World Championship.
Hey, well, guess what, Stu? Apparently, yesterday it was Miss Universe, and there was a transgender from Spain, I think.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Come on,
it's true.
The thing is, though, the funny thing about this, these feminists, they'll all back that and they'll all march for these transgenders. But what I know, these transgenders are stealing their gold medals off them and taking their world titles and shit. They're taking the women.
They're not legitimately winning. They're just giving it to them.
Not.
I mean, that shows you men are better at doing everything, including being a female, than females are.
I'm just fed up of transgender people saying I've got to accept them for who they are when they for being who they were. Makes no sense.
Fuck transitions, mate. Oh, God.
No, I'm just fed up with fucking transgender people saying they're not mentally ill. Fuck off.
How did we get into this? We got into this last time, and McGregor, we went in on trannies, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good show.
It's because
I don't want to talk about them again.
Stu brought it up. We were talking about Apology was talking about.
No, Stu didn't bring it up. He used to talk about a female in the dark.
Yeah, but
that's how it's.
I think I'd rather talk about. I think I'd rather talk about transgenders and female darts players than the Charlos, to be honest.
No.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're right. All right, hold on. Now,
they're pedophiles too, man. They're pedophiles.
Yeah,
they have bigger fan bases,
they're trying to normalize that fucking type of behavior. That's a topic for later on. Later on.
Pedophiles is what I meant to say. I said pedophile. Pedophiles.
Yeah, I was on pedophiles.
Yeah, they're pedophiles too.
No, recognise this saying that trannies are pedophiles.
Absolutely, 100%.
Somebody needs to help me with the comments in the chat because I forgot. Azzy told me to read a comment. I forgot to read it. Now I lost it. James Walker in the chat says BDA been on the phone to Bucho. Swing this shit my way, yo. What the hell are you talking about? What else?
I'm reading through.
Nicola Ferrari says
Saturnio's son says Charlo's a transgender.
It's not there in the chat anymore, Azzy. You're gonna need to redo it. I'll ask about Nick Webb, Bucho.
The what?
German Persian says women can't beat men even in beauty contests.
No, they're useless.
Ask about Nick Webb. Is he the new David Price?
That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious.
And this is supposed to be Dave Allen's best win, for fuck's sake.
If there's a new David Price, then they're going to need to get another hospital bed.
They're gonna need more oxygen.
Price has got his own. Price has got his own. His insurance just pays for it all year round, saving the bother, isn't it? It's an empty room at the moment. It's an empty room with oxygen masks and a tank of gas next to it.
It's just one bed.
Do you reckon?
Just one
Do you
room
reckon
for
David Price and Amir Khan had the same insurance company?
Oh.
If they did, they'd probably be bust now. If they did,
They should.
Probably liquidation. I mean, I think David Price has cost more medical fees than Michael Schumacher, and he's been in a coma for 5 years.
Yeah, no, man.
Oh,
That's a bit low.
fuck's sake.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Speaking of comas, is Stevenson still in one?
Yeah, he is, man. Somebody put on Twitter earlier on, saying about Tony. You know when Tony Thompson did that interview about breaking his wife's hip, somebody tweeted out saying, "This is the funniest interview I've ever heard," and then someone replied to it saying, "Just wait till you hear Stevenson's next interview." Say,
yes,
Low place should go to his hospital.
I can't say I like that.
Nah, I
would retweet that. I would retweet that.
Low place should go to Stevenson's. Low place should go to his hospital bed and just talk to nonsense to him for hours alone, because I reckon that the brain actually hears you still and it can wake you up out of the coma. So, you know, a lot of husbands, when they're in comas, their wives talk to them, "Hello, dear," and start chatting about. That's what Low place should do every day. Just go there. He might wake Stevenson up.
What's he going to say?
Kill himself.
What's he gonna tell him?
He'll go there and he'll just sit there and cry at his bedside, saying the fucking thing he's doing on the fucking live stream.
What the hell is he gonna be saying though?
Just talk to him, and just open up his heart like he did to us on his live stream.
Bring some flowers, some chocolate.
Low place got caught up in the battle of trolling, like back and forth trolling. You know, he's getting trolled, he's trolling them. I seriously believe that he was hurt. That not only that Stevenson got knocked out, he got put in the hospital. You know, it's not that he got beat.
Recognize,
and it happens.
He was always Lopez was always gonna have that excuse that, well, the guy's 40 or 40 something. Yeah.
Well, I didn't like him blaming Andre, even though I'm not an Andre Ward fan. Him blaming Andre Ward and Kovalev for the reason why Stevenson ended up in a coma. No, well, because he's saying that he had to fight longer because those guys did not want to fight him.
What? No, did he blame Badu Jack as well?
Yes, he did. You're right. He said, matter of fact, Cameron, he said that, you know, and fuck Badu Jack, because Badu Jack was hitting him low as if that had an effect going into the set to his fight. I don't know how he saw that, you know. I can't.
The only person he didn't blame was Donald Trump.
That's a surprise.
You just know
it's a surprise.
He's
the first to get blamed. He's usually the first to get blamed, but not in this one. He blamed everyone else. Badu Jack got it. Andre Ward, Kovalev. Yeah. Oh, that fucking list. I mean, I think Callum Johnson got it as well. And
did he even? You just know he's listening to the show still as well. That's the funny thing.
He's there, isn't it?
He's
listening to the show right now.
Every time he pops out the woodwork, the BDA's there with a sniper rifle taking his head off.
Yeah, I noticed.
He can't really get a word in because BDA keeps fucking timing him out.
And the thing is, BDA doesn't even block him. BDA just times him out, and he keeps coming back.
At the bottom.
And the guy keeps coming back. It's like, oh man, he wants to get blocked. I'm telling you, he wants to get blocked, so then he can say to himself, "Well, they blocked me because they can't handle me." That's what he wants. But we're not gonna do it.
They can't handle the truth. That's what it was saying.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's woke. All right.
Stevenson got beat up because it was bound to happen. That's all.
He's had his hair cut, man. I watched one of his last videos. He looks like Jermaine Taylor. post mental breakdown in in the prison. He had the dreads and everything. It looks like that now.
Oh, I saw he straightened his hair like.
Yeah, that's it. He straightened his hair. Yeah.
What's that comedian guy there?
Russell Brand. Russell Brand.
No, the black guy with the frizzy straight hair. Is that the name?
Yeah.
Low Place looks like there's two rappers. He looks like he looks more like True Life. This guy named True Life when he had long hair. Now he got like short hair, and he also reminds me of Jim Jones. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him.
Jim Jones.
No, I haven't.
No,
he's a rap.
He reminds me of Cat Williams.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, the hair.
The hair. Yeah.
Hey, that's who I was thinking of, Cat Williams.
Yeah, I'm putting the picture up.
Hold on. I'll send the picture into the group chat so you guys can see. I've already done this comparison. I've already done this comparison. Hold on.
Let me check.
1 sec.
All right, guys, keep talking. Well, what else can we say about? Why are we talking about Low Place again? Nicola Ferrari says Low Place is a mental handicapped clown. That's what Nicola Ferrari says. Nino Gaggi says Low Place believes Adonis will lead him to the promised land.
Wow. Pops Hot Gun in the chat says Adonis Stevenson equals black vegetable. Fuck.
All right. We're not gonna make jokes of the guy. I mean, I'm not. Let me put a disclaimer.
Nino Gaggi says True Life robbed the shit out of Mobb Deep. Yes, not Mobb Deep, but his friends, his boys. That's true.
The thing is, can I say one thing? What Low Place said in one of his videos about Adonis Stevenson saying he'd done his time and he was free of his sins because he did his time and stuff like that. He'll always have that reputation of being a pimp to underage girls. That never leaves you.
I'll tell you what. Can I say something?
That's not enough time.
Can I say something? All right. What Cameron just said. I'm doing my Dr. Phil again here. Dr. Juan is the Mexican version here. Dr. Juan, which is me now. Low Place was in prison. Sonny Stevenson was in prison, so there's already like a projection. He's projecting himself onto Stevenson. Now, Stevenson apparently didn't get a second chance by the people, apparently, because people criticize him. So, Low Place, I think, happened. This is what happened with him as well. He never got a second chance, or feels he didn't get a second chance. So he got very attached to Adonis Stevenson because he sees himself in Adonis Stevenson. Does that make sense?
Do we give Notch the second chance?
Well, because every time. Oh, I hear echo from Stu's side. All right. When you criticize Adonis Stevenson because he didn't fight this guy, Low Place sees that as not giving him a chance because he's a criminal, a former criminal, and so we don't cut him any slack.
I want to know, how come Adonis Stevenson didn't get a chance? I mean, did this guy get a chance to become the light heavyweight champion of the world, make millions of dollars, live in Canada, the fucking land of the cooks? You know what I mean? It's hardly a hard life he's living here, is it?
Exactly,
man. So,
let's not forget, Chad Dawson gave him that fight.
What roadblocks have been put in the way of Adonis Stevenson's career? I mean, if anything, he's been able to hold that title hostage for year after year, fighting chump after chump. And I'm meant to believe that this guy's had it hard and he's hard done by in life and boxing's treating bad. Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's how he
what he did.
He was mandatory for Carl Froch at 68, and then Chad Dawson gave him a voluntary. He didn't have to. Stevenson wasn't mandatory. Dawson gave him that chance, so he's had chances in this sport.
Well, I don't know. Remember that Lopez always said that.
Sorry, I just find it hard to feel sorry for multimillionaires. Sorry, I just do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who chose to fight? If Adonis Stevenson, if I find out later on in life that Adonis Stevenson was forced to box, and that he was falsely accused of everything, I'll apologize. I'll be like, that's fucked up. What happened to him? Then I'll really feel bad for him. But if all is true that he did what he did to those girls, and he decided to be a boxer and hey, listen, it's called. Shit happens. You stick around long enough, karma comes back to you some kind of way. And personally, I don't even see it as karma, what happened to Adonis Stevenson. I just see that as the result of fighting. When you fight, people get beat up and put in a coma every single day for free. That's just the way it goes when you get into a fight.
Yeah,
whether it's mutual, whether it's mutual combat or unmutual combat, you know, people get put in the hospital every single day.
Yeah, I put the picture up in the group chat.
All right, let me go get it. I can't find a group chat for some reason. Damn it. Anyways, somebody wants to read the comments.
My stance on Stevenson is...
I saw it, McGregor. I saw it. The hair. It's the hair, for sure.
I've seen that as well.
My stance on Stevenson is, obviously, I don't want to see the guy like die or anything, or be a fucking cabbage for the rest of his life. But I'm not going to sit here and like cry about it like low players did. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a sport that they choose to do. They get millions of dollars to do it. I mean, I don't want to. Of course, I don't want to see a fighter get hurt. I'd rather him not be hurt, even though he's a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit. What he's done. He's a low life. But you know, he went on. He gets in the ring at the end of the day to entertain us. So I'll give him that sort of respect. So I don't want to see him hurt. But I'm not going to sit here and shed tears. And like Recognize said, this is the business they sign up to do. They sign on. You can't go into a fight without signing your life away. It's like when you go into a box. Exactly. You can't just go into a boxing gym and just. You have to sign and get in a sparring session with someone. You have to sign a piece of paper to say if you get hurt or killed, you can't sue them, or your family can't sue them, sort of thing.
And also, you have to do a physical as well to make sure you can fit enough to box.
Of course you do.
Also,
no one forced you guys into the boxing ring. So again.
Also, just adding to what you said, Stevenson's also got a newborn baby, and you know that kid deserves a dad as well. So
you've got to think of the child. At the end of the day, whatever Stevenson's done, he's got a woman, and he's got a wife and a child that hasn't done fuck all to anybody. So, well, you know what? That child's going to live with a dad that probably won't be able to talk to her. So you have to take into account these sort of things. So when we're all having a laugh about it, that's why I try not to have little pots, but you've got to keep it as real as you can. He's not a very nice guy, and that's it. But it's so sad what happened.
Yeah, we don't wish anything bad to happen to. I don't want to speak on everybody's behalf. I know
no, I'm with you, Bucho. I don't. Listen, I do believe in what goes around comes back around. So I don't waste my time trying to like wish people bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that could, I believe. Look, anybody can believe whatever they want, but I believe that if I do that, I'll kind of curse myself eventually. And I've been through enough stuff, in my life where, when you lose people, that shit is that's very serious. A lot of people get hurt, and so regardless. But going back to Stevenson, he signed on. I want somebody to show me the proof that he was forced to fight and that he was falsely accused. I'll come on here and be like, yo, that's fucked up. What happened to him? That's a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll say that. Other than that, I would say, look, I hope his kids are fine. I hope his family's okay. But that's what he signed up to do. That's what he signed up for.
Yeah. See, like I said, it's not really about Stevenson for me. Like I've got a child, obviously, that's not got her mother around anymore. We lost her like last year. So I've seen the effects of children not having a parent around. So it's you've got to. I see it from that point of view. But as a man, then it's hard to feel sorry for someone like that. But the human being in me tells me that you have to, and it's not nice to see.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on from the Stevenson talk, man. All right. I was gonna continue talking about the Charlos. Just quickly, who should? Oh, okay. No, okay. Let me go back. Jermall Charlo is fighting Korobov, or before that he was supposed to fight Monroe Jr. because Billy Joe Saunders tested positive. Lemieux was supposed to fight in December, didn't make weight. Triple G is a free agent, but I don't know if there were any negotiations between them. I don't think so. Jacobs is a free agent as well, so that could have been an option. But then again, Jacobs fought in November, I think. All right, so
they're not fighting Triple G unless he's coming off his deathbed.
Yeah, maybe. So Canelo gets a lot of crap for fighting Rocky Fielding, but Jermall doesn't get any criticism for fighting. Who did he
And
fight
don't get
this
me
year?
wrong, Rocky Fielding is a shit fight. I knew that going in. I'm not here telling you that it was a great litmus test on, although in a way it is, because for different reasons, right? I like the way he was working the body, and I can see that transferring to elite fights, given the elite fighters at 168 problems. But this Korobov situation, right, with Monroe, this is clearly a duck job, a sophisticated duck job from him. It's not that they're scared of Willie Monroe. It's just they're afraid of what the outcome is going to be. Is it going to be a struggle? Is it going to be a better knockout than Triple G? This is what they're trying to sell. So Korobov, who offers probably at this point little resistance, because now you're talking about a guy who has to cut more weight. So they probably came up to him last minute and said, hey, look,
well,
this
it's only
happened with Willie Monroe. This happened with Willie Monroe. Can you cut 8 more pounds?
It's 2 pounds.
And we'll give you X amount of dollars. And he knows the game. He knows that they're picking him to lose the fight. You know, they're hoping. So he's like, how much money? You get a little extra $200K or $300K, let's just say. You know, just throwing numbers out there. And he says, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. Right? Because this is how he makes his money. It's the holiday season, right? Why not? You give me $2 or $3 grand, $200 or $300 grand, I'll fight him. I'll cut the extra weight, put myself in a disadvantage.
But this protection program I've been talking about for a while in America, where a lot of American fighters have got this VADA, especially protecting them and basically fouling drug tests on a regular basis of opponents of these guys. Yet none of these guys are coming up with any sort of results. You know, they're clean as they come apparently. But when you look at them, we all know differently, and it's just disgusting to see. You know,
look, man,
a drug company,
do you see
a drug company like VADA corrupting the sport. Get VADA gone. They're not good for the sport. They're a cancer.
It's not.
And people in the chat will say, "Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? Drug testing needs to be done, but these are not doing it properly." If you do it fairly, then fair enough. But you can't just go and stitch one guy up and then leave and turn a blind eye to another one, because we all know them Charlos are on roids for a start.
Of course they are. This is the problem I have, Stuart. I don't have a problem with, let's say, VADA per se. Okay, what I have a problem with is since we're asking these fighters to get drug tested, then we need to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent about everything. Okay, we have to be. If we're going to be transparent about what they put in their body, then let's do it for everything. Everything that we need to see every drug test, fighter A and fighter B passed. If we're going to do that, we don't see that. All we hear is a name drop. Willie Monroe failed. Such and such failed. This guy failed, right? But it's never the A-side fighter who looks like he's on roids. Look, I do believe this. Something that precise.
You've spot on. Exactly what I was saying. Spot on. Got to recognise. I'm just saying you're spot on, bro.
Right. Okay. So something that Precise brought up, right? Something that he brought up, and somebody else brought up. What's that guy's name? God. Bruce fucking Vane, I think his name is. He has a channel. Somebody on this panel put me on to his channel, and he does some pretty good work. So Precise was saying, if you look at Deontay Wilder, and I never even really looked at it that way, but it was so obvious. So if you look at Deontay Wilder, since he's been asked to take these drug tests, he's been dropping weight, but not just a little bit weight, significant weight, right? A 6'7" guy now weighing 210 pounds or 215. That's a lot of weight from a guy who was like 230, all muscles. Okay, this was not a fat 6'7", 230 pounder. Then you got a guy. Then and this I heard from Bruce Vane, right? The Bruce fucking Vane guy, right? Whatever his name is. If I'm botching his name, I don't mean to, but
no, you got it right. You got it right.
Right. That dude said something that really made a whole lot of sense. You got Deontay Wilder talking about putting on 30 or 25 pounds of muscle weight. He's openly talking about it. Now, how do you think he's going to do that?
The same way Roy Jones did.
Exactly, right. And so he brought that up. He's like, this guy's been dropping weight. Now he's talking about putting on 20 to 30 pounds of muscle weight. Well, what is he saying? What is he telling you? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible, Stu, but knowing what we know about designer drugs and how easier it is when you're taking them to gain muscle weight the right way, right? These are $1 million athletes. It's stupid.
See, I've actually seen the video, and he mentioned about the injuries as well, taking steroids for the injury, the hand injuries, which was a great point. Because for him to be breaking his arms and his hands a few weeks before fights and then getting in there and throwing it like he'd never been injured in his life, was a bit bizarre to me. So he's either fucking roided up to the max or he's lying, one of the two. But this guy, obviously, maybe his natural weight is coming into show. Maybe he's a Tommy Hearns of the heavyweight division, a freak of nature where he's 210 pounds and 6'7". Maybe the roids were making him 220 odd pounds against the likes of Stavern. I think it was Stavern and Spilker, all them guys. Do you know what I mean? So the evidence is there. My problem is Errol Spence. This guy hasn't. I don't think he's ever been tested. And we all know this.
I want proof.
Been tested.
He
hasn't been tested. Kell Brook got tested about 5 or 6 times against him.
He was testing the Brook fight.
I don't believe that Spence has been tested. I need concrete proof. I don't care if they
wasn't he testing the Brook fight.
I want to see it though. I want to see the results.
Yeah, but it's VADA testing. Like I've just said, that doesn't mean anything because VADA are not going to test him. They're going to make out they did. Give him some other guy's fucking piss and make out it was Errol's. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. But that's my point with VADA. They're not getting tested, these guys. They might have it down on paper as being tested, being clean, but the true tests have not happened. Yet they've followed Kell Brook all around Sheffield, testing him every time he fucking comes out of the gym. So it's wrong. And find me, if anyone can find me a steroid test, a PED test for Errol Spence, then I will apologise live on air.
You never find it. Do you want me to tell you something? I'll tell you this. For the last 10 years, my dad has been trying to get drug tests for boxing for therapeutic use exemptions, and UKAD won't release any. They'll release it for other sports. You can find out if a cyclist takes a therapeutic use exemption, it's called. You can take, in Britain, you can take steroids as long as you can prove that you need them. Even for asthma, you can take steroids as long as you can prove you can take them. You can take them up to 12 hours before a fight. In Britain, only Britain, because it's UKAD who test you. If you don't have VADA testing and it's 2 British fighters fighting, both of them can be just to the goals. The people who test are local people. So you've got a guy who's testing in Sheffield, comes from Yorkshire. He's pals with the trainers in the gym. It's my dad has been trying for years. Boxing won't release. UKAD won't tell you if any boxers get therapeutic use exemptions. But you can ask them, see if you say to any tennis players, they'll disclose that there's 8 tennis players. But if you ask them boxers, they'll never disclose it. And it's a combat sport. It's only UKAD. If you train in Britain, like Billy Joe Saunders was cleared by UKAD, but he was breaching VADA. So he could have took that inhaler he was taking, he could have took that right up to 12 hours before the fight. But Andrade wouldn't have been allowed to take it. But UKAD will allow that, which is, it's flawed. The whole system's flawed. You need one testing system. You need somebody for the other person's camp to spend 10 weeks with the other fighter and day blood there and then. That's the only way you can get it out. You can't have people testing who are pals with the trainer. Makes no sense.
I'll tell you one thing. Andrade, they set up Billy Joe Saunders. I don't care what anyone says. Andrade didn't fancy that fight. Wasn't ready. And they set him up to get out of it. This is what's happening in boxing.
Andrade's definitely a hype job, bro. He's definitely 100% a hype job.
He's crap, man.
Billy Joe would have beat him up. Billy Joe would have beat him up.
Billy Joe would have
Stu,
outboxed him.
think about this.
Yeah.
Think about this. Eddie Hearn was working with Andrade, right? Not Billy Joe Saunders. So the Canelo just joins the zone. If you have an undefeated Andrade, he's a potential opponent for Canelo. Now, if he loses to Billy Joe Saunders defeats Andrade on the zone and then bounces and goes back to ITV or whatever. I don't know where the fuck he fights. So yeah, I don't think it's a fight that Eddie Hearn wanted.
And Andrade is an easier fight than Billy Joe Saunders.
Joey Ocean in the chat is saying, "Oh, he got caught. Get over it, Stu." But he is allowed to fight. He'd be fighting on the Warrington Frampton card. He's allowed to fight. Only in Boston and Varda have said that this guy's done anything, and I don't trust either of them. So that's my point. Just because they said so, how do you know your fucking your daddy is because your mama told you so, sort of thing? Get out of it.
I mean, but we already know that the drug testing is flawed. We have too many examples. We got the Floyd Mayweather situation. We got the Alexander Povetkin situation. So what else do we need?
Now, Del Boy Boxing news.
We got the Bernard Hopkins situation. Just to throw that in there too. Go ahead.
Yeah, Del Boy Boxing news in the chat says, has Billy Joe even stated what the brand of the nasal spray was? Saunders is suspect as fuck. Always had stamina. Always had bad stamina until he got with Ingle. So that's true. Saunders didn't have good stamina in the past, I remember. And
well, let me ask you something. I would ask Del Boy this: does stamina scare you as a fighter? When you're fighting an opposing fighter? I mean, is that going to be the end all? No. The reason why I bring this up is for this reason, right? So they're saying it's his stamina that they notice an improvement in. Okay, now stamina, you could work on that without actually using anything. That's a fact. At 45, I can build stamina from here in 2 months. 2 months from now, I can, instead of running 5 miles, I can train myself to do 10 miles. Right? I'm not saying that I'll exactly do it, but if I put in the work, I can get to that. My point is this: that if that's what you're worried about, stamina could be worked on, and this is a proven science fact, just by putting in the repetition, to do so. Instead of running 3 miles, you're running 5 miles now. You kick into the, you kick it up a little bit. So I just don't buy that the stamina thing when that's something that you can work on. Do I say 100%?
Can you really work? Okay, remember De La Hoya always had stamina issues?
Yeah, but De La Hoya was not disciplined. That's the problem with De La Hoya. De La Hoya was doing so much fucking and drugs that he became addicted.
Well, he never had, even when he never ever had stamina. I heard that it's your lung capacity. Some people are born with like the lung capacity is smaller. I don't know what the hell. So you have less stamina, no matter how much you fucking run and shit.
But De La Hoya was a guy that a lot of people suspected taking stuff, but it obviously didn't really work on his stamina, right? So there's certain fights where, look, I think people pay attention to too much. A fight, when you get into a boxing fight, it's really a fight-by-fight situation. One fight, you feel like this adrenaline that makes you go 12 rounds. The next fight, you're just not feeling it. You're just not feeling it, whether you worked out really hard or you didn't. You could have a great training camp and maybe you overdid yourself.
Exactly.
So I think they're paying too much attention to a fight by fight. He had better stamina in this fight. He didn't have the stamina in the last fight.
Sometimes you can wake up in the morning, it's just not there. You can overdo it in camp. Sometimes you can, like I said, you can overtrain, and sometimes you can wake up just feeling lethargic or tired. You didn't get good sleep. You've got to get everything spot on in training. You might not eat properly. You might have cut the weight, cutting corners, cutting the weight, and that's took a lot out of you. There's a lot of reasons why one fight you can be feel like $1 million, and the next you can feel like $100. So
I just think power.
It's very scientifically. It's all to do with science and getting everything on the spot, and it's hard to do in boxing because the body acts differently every day.
Power,
and the thing about
power is
Billy
the
Joe
indicator
Saunders,
to me of I'm sorry, apology. Let me just get this. To me, power is the red flag. To me, when you see a guy who's not knocking out anybody, but then he's like one punching dudes and knocking them out. That's when I start saying, okay, there's a good chance he could have been taking something to build more strength.
Well, you mean like
right?
you mean like Charlo, like Charlo?
Yeah, that's one guy. Absolutely, yep.
Yeah. Real quick about Billy Joe Saunders as well. This guy, he's like De La Hoya. He's lazy. He doesn't train properly. He's probably doing coke. I mean, he's probably fucking around. So I expect him to not perform at his best.
All right. Well, how the hell did we end up talking about Billy Joe Saunders? And oh yeah, because there's the positive test, a potential opponent for Jermel or Canelo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this is a guy that needs to be talked about. You know, this is a guy that lost his belt and through funny circumstances for me, and I think we should talk about it. Or do you want to talk about the Rocky folding over and giving his belt away?
No, that's over. Yeah, no, fuck
if you want.
Didn't we forgot about? Sorry to cut you off, Stu, but we forgot about the story about Jermel and Jermal not being present for the VADA testing. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I just forgot about this shit. What the hell?
It's disgraceful.
Yeah, it's on the rug.
What do you think the Charlo sisters? You think the Charlo sisters missed that by accident? Come on, man.
They were on vacation.
When you fight these American fighters, look what you have to go through. You have to go first. You have to go to their backyard. You have to deal with their judges, their ref. You have to deal with being spiked or given a foul drug test for any reason, while the other guy is allowed to go to Ivan Drago's gym in Moscow and get injected. They're allowed to do that while you're not allowed to take a fucking a locket for a sore throat. So I mean, it's just you're fighting against the odds, and then when you do enough, the judges will take it away from you. So it's just hard to beat these guys, man, when it's all against you. Corruption at its highest.
Yeah, these people get exemptions, but Billy Joe Saunders gets caught immediately. It's shit. I don't know, man. It's so corrupt. It's difficult to make put all the pieces together and try to find out who they're trying to favor, if the accusations are correct, if it's fabricated.
Yeah, it's like a horse. It's like a horse race, bro. If you feed one horse and feed them up too much and leave the other one, half empty, then who's going to win? The one that's full to the max is not going to even barely finish the race. So of course, you know who's going to win, and that's how it is with a lot of these fighters. You've got one guy who's got everything against him, basically being fed to his full, and then you got another guy that's having everything go his way, and he's $1 million when he turns up on the night.
Yeah. Yeah, corruption in boxing in the chat is saying that the VADA test results for Billy Joe Saunders indicated an estimation level for ephedrine, not oxylofrin. I'm butchering these names. The level was consistent with 6 nasal drops. I have already debunked this. So corruption believes that Billy Joe Saunders didn't do anything wrong or anything crazy. He didn't break the rules.
Yeah, and the thing with corruption, when corruption does his homework, he's usually spot on.
Yeah, I believe corruption. He doesn't seem to be.
I think with the Billy Joe Saunders, you got the same situation that happened with Alexander Povetkin. It's different stuff, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. Del Boy Boxing News in the chat says that he cannot get on during the week, but he'll try the weekends. So yeah, you can join us anytime. Del Boy Boxing News. It's a great channel. I subscribed to his channel a long time ago, and yeah, he knows his boxing. All right, guys. If you want to keep talking about VADA and Jermal or whatever you guys want, now it's open.
Real quick.
Why don't we get onto the fights of the weekend?
All right.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Real quickly. Yeah, real quickly, do you see Korobov? Was he the guy that Andy Lee knocked out all those years ago?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's washed up, man. That was years ago, and he got knocked out.
Andy Lee took the title off him. Andy Lee took the title off Korobov, but
Yeah.
Korobov, weakest champion at the time. Andy Lee got his shot, and he stopped Korobov, and I think Andy Lee lost his title in the next fight. I think it was against Billy Joe, weren't it?
Billy Joe, yeah. Billy Joe put on an excellent performance in that fight against Andy Lee. I think he dropped him like twice.
He did. It was a bit negative for my liking. I'd like to have seen him do a bit more, but he won the fight, that's for sure.
But what he did was what I liked was he was setting Andy Lee up for those knockdowns, man. Andy Lee didn't realize that, you know, you keep coming into a counterpuncher like that, you're gonna get dropped.
Oh, you cut off.
You hear me now?
Yep.
No, so yeah, to Apology's point, think about it like this. He got knocked out years ago, and he was considered a better fighter back then than he is now. And he was naturally fighting at 160, where now he's been fighting. He was scheduled to fight at 168 coming this Saturday. And now last minute he's asked to, you know, drop about 8 more pounds to fight at 160 against Charlo. So it goes to show you that the protection program for, you know, guys like Charlo, it's real, man. It's real. And that's what these PBC, you know, nut huggers will never tell you, is that these guys are protected. They're privileged little childs. That's what they are. They only hear because they were groomed to this they were groomed the right way. They were guided in the right direction. Not to say that they don't have any talent. It's just that they were guided in the right direction. So
let's be real. Let's be real. They've got a very powerful nation that can get things done behind them. I mean, if you pull the old Soviet lads, the Eastern Europeans, and stick them all in America and give them the opportunity that these American fighters have had, then we'll see a difference. Do you know what I mean? You know, give them all the judges, give them all the drug tests that they want, you know, for their opponents. Just let everything go their way, like they do the American fights, and see how successful they are. You know, so they've had everything go their way. America will always protect its champions. Always.
Are you saying American fighters are not as good as the?
No, I'm saying a lot of them don't even. Look at these American fighters that have wasted their talent. They don't even show us their best. These Europeans will come over and they'll give it 100%. You'll get the max out of them. These guys are clowns. They're prancing around like fairies, dressed like fucking transgenders, half of them, and they don't want it half the time. That's why they quit when it gets hot. Do you know what I mean? So they're just spoiled fighters, and because they're used to everything going their way, they know all they got to do is survive, and they get the win. They don't have to don't have to worry about drug tests. They don't even have to worry about cutting the weight half the time, because then their promoter will arrange a deal for them to carry on the fight a few pounds over, and you know, give the guy $100,000 or something, and the fight's on still. So
yeah, I think you're right, Stu. It could have just been $100K that they offered him and said, look, would you take? Think about it. It's the holiday season, right? He's been living in America. Korobov has been living in America, I'm sure, for a little while. So he's probably into the Christmas holidays. He probably, I'm willing to bet that he has kids, he has a wife or something like that, and they're getting caught. Give him $100K. You know, here's $100,000. They don't even have to tell him throw the fight, right? He's just smart enough to know they're only picking him because they think that, you know, he's not gonna be able to last long, and he'll do it. He'll do it. He'll be like, "What's 8 pounds? I don't have to worry about that." He'll realize it when he's in the ring, you know, and he starts going past 3 rounds. He'll be like, "Oh shit, my legs don't feel right," and you know, and Charlo's still springy, missing VADA testing and all that, you know.
Yeah. Stu, you wanted to talk about the fights this weekend? Because the Warrington Frampton fight's looking quite decent.
All right.
I mean, if you guys are happy to do that, I'm not too fussed. I mean,
let's get into these fights. December 22nd, which is this Saturday, at Manchester, England, is gonna be televised over here on ESPN Plus. We have George Warrington versus Carl Frampton, 12 rounds for the IBF featherweight title. In the undercard, we have Michael Coland versus Jason Cunningham, 8 or 10 rounds featherweight. Martin Murray against Hassam Endam. I thought Martin Murray was going to retire after his last fight, but anyways. Martin Murray against Hassan Endam. Billy Joe Saunders versus Sultan Serra, 10 rounds super middleweight. And Mark Heffron versus Liam Williams, 12 rounds for the vacant British middleweight title. So that's pretty much the main fights. Let's start with the main event. Josh Warrington versus Carl Frampton. Any thoughts on that fight?
It's going to be a great fight.
What do you have?
I think Warrington's winning that fight, man.
Whoa.
Yep, Warrington by knockout. That's what I've got.
Damn.
Wow.
I think like, see when Carl Frampton moved, Jim? See when he moved to Barry McGuigan's gym? He gave an interview talking about how he spars like 10% of what he used to spar. He's scared of getting injured. See when I hear people talk like that, nah. Honestly, Warrington will hurt him. He's already thinking about retiring. He's actually, I think he's scared for he's already said he's scared. He's scared to get punched. And you're going to go in there with Warrington. Warrington will just stand there and punch him all day. I can honestly see Frampton retiring on his stool. It's wild, but I'm going to go with it. I do believe it.
I'm starting to lean towards Warrington myself. And I was Frampton all the way. But the closer this fight gets, I'm starting to go more towards Warrington. Warrington's a very difficult fight for anyone because he just brings constant pressure. All right, he is not a massive puncher, but he hits you hard enough to get your respect, and he takes you off your game plan, and he snatches souls. That's how he has to fight because he's not going to knock you out. He's not Floyd Mayweather on the back foot. But he sticks to what he does best, and he tucks up behind his guard. And he comes forward and he lets his hands go, and he's technically quite good when he's doing it. And he knows a little bit about defence as well. He's not getting, smacked in the face as he's coming in. He covers up quite well. He's not easy to hit. So I think Frampton. I agree with AA Boxing. I don't think he's at his best. I think he's lost the love for boxing. I think featherweight's not a division for him. I think he's far too small.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a feeling this could be the time where Warrington takes Frampton. I think it's a good time for Warrington to fight him.
In the chat, Mr. Coxey says Frampton on points. In the chat, Mr. BDA says Frampton is a world-class fighter, losing by KO. I don't know. He's surprised that some people are saying that Frampton's gonna get knocked out. Any more predictions? Any more predictions?
A boxer should never have quitted him, and he's got quit in him. I can see it. He's got quit in him, and he's ready to quit. He's already thinking about it.
How do you know? I want to know how you can tell.
Right.
How can you tell AA that he's a quitter?
When you're talking about he's scared of getting punched in sparring. He doesn't want to spar a lot of rounds because he's scared for his health. That's not somebody who's hungry to go out there and fight the best to win everything. That's somebody who's out there thinking, I want a couple of paydays. That's the mentality's not the same. And if that 1%, if you're not switched on and willing to die in that ring, that's quit. That's what I see as quit. If you're not going out there willing to die in that ring, it's not the same.
See, that's what Warrington does. He snatches souls. He makes you. He just makes you like give up, sort of thing. And I think if AA is right, then that could happen.
And also, Warrington's younger and faster than Frampton. Frampton's looking older and slower. He's getting older by the day, so I think Warrington's got this.
Now, I just want to ask AA quickly. So I just want to carry on what you're saying. So you actually think he's going to quit then?
I can honestly see him. I think it'll be competitive, but I think when he realises, I don't think Warrington will not go on his back foot. I think he can take everything Frampton will throw at him. And I think he'll keep coming forward. I think there'll come to a point when Frampton's taking punches and realising he's punching me more than I'm punching him. I think he has got quit in him. I do think he's got quit in him, and he never used to have that.
See, I think that's what happened with Selby. Selby likes to fight his own pace and box at a slow pace, and he's be slick with it. But every time he was hitting Warrington was throwing 3 shots back. I think he kept throwing with him, but Warrington was landing the better shots because he's the better inside fighter. And I think that's what Frampton's problem could be. Frampton, when he's trying to be quite clever and use the jab and everything, he could be getting hit with punches and bunches. All right, not all of them are going to land, but it soon wears you out, and I think that's what Warrington does, because he's not going to KO you. He's got like 4 KOs in his career, but he just wears you down, and you give up the will to fight. I think he did that. Selby did. Selby was feeling sorry for himself in there quite early. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Frampton fights in a similar way, as you say. He likes to pick the jab, pick nice shots, but Warrington's output is so high. I don't see Frampton being able to stop that.
Yeah, Warrington rushes you as well, so it's hard to time him because he's quite clever. He rushes you, and then he just lets his hands go when he's in range. And every time you hit him, he's landing 3 on you, and it all adds up on the scorecard, and it adds up when it's taking its toll on your body as well.
All right, Cameron, are you there? We didn't get your prediction. Probably not. All right. Well, you know, this reminds me of Miguel Cotto when he was gonna fight Margarito in the rematch, and Cotto wasn't willing to die in the ring. That kind of like set off an alarm in my head. Like, well, this guy he's not willing to die in the ring.
Did you see Margarito's expression?
Well, he didn't understand. He's like, "What the hell? What? Like,
no,
are you serious?"
I think it was wonderful. I think that was a wonderful moment in boxing. He just said, "What? Like, the fuck are you talking about? Then why do you fight?"
Well, Margarito was fighting with his eye all fucked up. This guy.
But Margarito was not feeling sorry for himself. This is a guy who he doesn't even. How's your eye? It's fine. Like, it's hanging through his fucking his face, and he's telling you, "No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine."
He's willing to fucking lose an eye.
Margarito's a killer. He's like, I don't. To me, it was one of those priceless moments, like in terms of not in the ring, just a man's natural reaction to someone responding like Cotto did. I'm not willing to die in the ring.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Well, we saw. Well, go ahead.
No, that's all. Just when you brought that up. Oh, one more thing. Korobov's last fight was at light heavyweight.
No.
Against Bum. Yes, it was.
Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
just to give you, I'm gonna be shitting on the Charlos a little bit more. Just to give you a perspective on what's been going on with Korobov, who's just like lost in the mix, and was set up for this.
Recognize. To be fair, Charlo was supposed to fight Monroe, but then Monroe tested positive. It's not Charlo's fault.
No, and it's not Charlo's fault. But we know it's. Come on.
I know. No, I'm just telling you what they're gonna be saying.
I want to see Charlo's drug results. Also, I'm not gonna give him no excuse. I want to see his drug results. Now, I don't want to hear. Yeah, there's nothing to report because he passed. No, show me. Until you show me, I don't believe he's being tested.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's being tested. He looks like a cokehead to me.
Yeah, I would recognize, man. I would recognize. He's on Peds and
I'll tell him that to his fucking face. I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, they look edgy. No, not edgy.
I like when people be like, say that to his face. He look at me. He might turn around. He might be like, that motherfucker's too big. Fuck all that.
He won't even understand what you're saying. He'll be so high. He'll be like, what? Yeah, sure.
There's a good chance that my hand is bigger than his whole face. So I ain't worried about that. I smacked the shit out of him.
13 rounds.
That's a small chin as well. His chin is small.
Yeah.
Put it this way. Fuck the Charlos and fuck all his little fans on YouTube too.
Oh.
I don't like none of them. I think they're all faggots, in my opinion. You support that dude, you're a faggot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So just for the record, recognize he's calling Low Place a faggot. All right.
I like Low Place, but if he's repping Charlo, he ain't.
No, I don't know if he is. I don't know if he is, but
not getting on him on this. The shoe fits.
But he made a comment earlier that Charlo's was gonna knock out Monroe Jr. pretty easily or something like that. But now he's gonna be knocking out Korobov, so he's happy with that either way. But I don't know, man. Monroe was gonna go 12 rounds, man. That's just my opinion, and he's a southpaw, kind of tricky. I don't think Charlo's team wanted trouble, so they just decided to fight Korobov. Stu, you were gonna say something? Probably not.
As my dog making a noise, I think it might be that.
Ah, all right. Well, things are slowing down in this show right now. I don't know what else can we talk about here. It's
Del boy, Dillian White.
Oh wait, is that?
Oh yeah.
Is that fight this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yes. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I want to see that fight, bro. I want to see that fight.
See, if the two clash, because they're both on pay-per-view in the UK, the two clash, I'll watch the Frampton Warrington fight because I appreciate the skills more with them two. It's going to be a better fight. I think Chisora White could be a brawl. I do. But the card's shocking.
Have you guys seen the shape that that Chisora's in?
No.
He looks like a beast, bro. I don't know. Maybe.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like stronger and lean? Or I'm gonna put a picture.
Okay, he in the face-off with that face-off that they do with what's the guy with the tight shirt's name? He always wears a tight shirt.
Willie Nelson.
Right, that guy. Tight shirt guy. So he, I don't know. I was looking at Chisora, bro. It was kind of that, not that. There's a little fat in him, but it looked like it was more muscle. And he just looked. He looked like he's having a good training camp. That's all I gotta say. He's having a really.
He's got a Jesus Christ, isn't it? He's going to come out like fucking Holyfield did, didn't he? You know, singing the Lord is Jesus is Lord. Remember when he came out? You bet your life you will. So yeah, well, I suppose when you change your lifestyle, at least the good thing about going to religion is it keeps you away from the clubs and the bars, I suppose. So while he's doing that, he's keeping in shape, and that's a good thing because we're going to get a better fight. I think Dillian White's I think he's improved quite a bit since the last fight.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could. I think he's going to beat Chisora. Chisora, it's just what you get on the night with him. One night he'll be good and it'll be exciting. You think he's back, and then he'll go to Bulgaria, lose to a Bulgarian lorry driver. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what Chisora. I've got a feeling he's going to be in shape for this, but this is still a guy that's been beat 6 or 7 times. You know, he's not unstoppable. He shouldn't be on a pay-per-view card. Let's be real. How many fighters do you know unless you're like fought 60, 70 fights, then how many fights?
Let's say like Manny Pacquiao, who has 60 wins and 7 losses.
Or Vladimir Klitschko or something like that. Right, yeah, do you know what I mean?
But,
but when you got Joe Chisora like 28 fights and 6 defeats or something like that, I mean, get out of it.
But you know, the reason why that fight intrigues me is because, and I agree with you. Going in, I got Dillian White beating him. I think he's going to beat him, but the first fight, I thought Chisora won, man. I thought he edged it out. It was a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was a blowout, but I thought White got a little bit of a gift decision. Not terrible. Not it's not like he washed up Dillian White. I thought he just edged it out.
I think Dillian White's problem was though, bro, his balance was so poor that night. It actually looked like he was hurt a lot more than he actually was because he was just soft. But his balance is terrible. Every time he throws a shot, he's all over the shot.
But of course, you got to penalize him for that.
I think he's improved that, and I think the first fight. I think that's what could have tipped people to think that Chisora won it because it looked like White was getting rocked a lot, but a lot of it was just down to terrible balance. And he's always had a problem with that, and that's why he gets caught a lot. But I think he's improving on that. Like I said, he's an improving fighter. He looks to be getting stronger as well. That left hook is a weapon. I don't care what anyone says. That is a weapon to drop Joseph Parker. Not many people no one's dropped him before, so you have to respect that.
The first knockdown was legit for sure.
Yeah, AA. Why do you like Dillian White? I don't really like him either, but why do you like him?
Right, I'll tell you why. Dillian White had a drug ban, came back for his drug ban, and then he fought 6 step-overs, fought Minto, fought AJ on a pay-per-view, then he fought Baccaran, Dave Allen, and Ian Lewison. Right, he then became ranked number 2 in the WBC. The Chisora. Chisora was his first time he'd fought an eliminator against anybody in the top 10. He'd won. When he fought AJ, he was shit. He never really. His wins between AJ in fighting Lucas Brown was beating Chisora and Ian Lewison and Dave Allen.
Yeah,
and people were actually
yeah.
telling me, people were saying to me, he's the best heavyweight in the world, he'll beat AJ, and people were saying he should be fighting Wilder. You tell me, before he fought Parker, who owned that? Maybe Brown, but even Brown had fought once in 2 years.
Brown's fucking shit, man. Nah.
But the actual
that's
White, terrible. It's terrible.
Word.
He fought Ian Lewison and then he became ranked number 9 in the WBC, beating Ian Lewison. I'd beat Ian Lewison.
I think when you look at his
how can beating Ian Lewison be top 10?
Yeah, but there's some decent names there. I mean, there's a Parker win there. There's a Hellenius win. But there's a Chisora win there. There's a.
He was overrated when he fought Chisora. He did beat Chisora. I hadn't beaten Chisora, but Chisora, to me, he should have beat Chisora. Chisora was coming off a loss after loss. Hellenius beat him. You know what I mean? He'd been beat. It's not as if Chisora was somebody who was put.
Yeah, but come on, man. Chisora got robbed in that fight. Chisora won that fight, man. You know he did.
I had White winning. I did.
I'm on about the Hellenius. I'm on about. Hang on a minute.
Hellenius fight.
Yeah, you know, Chisora won that fight. You know he did.
Against Hellenius.
He got robbed.
But
he got robbed.
Like Dillian White.
I agree with that.
As well with
Hellenius is trash.
like Dillian White. That's pretty much it. I think after he got beat off AJ and he fought Baccarat, Dave Allen and Ian Lewison, and then he became top 10 in the WBC, and people were saying, "Oh, he's brilliant," and you're like, "How the fuck's he brilliant? He just beat Ian Lewison."
I thought he struggled. I thought he struggled against Baccarat as well, man. Like he was struggling. He did not get him out of there. Couldn't get him into range or anything. He's a cruiserweight.
I don't rate. Tony Bellew beat Baccarat no long before it. I'm sure but that's why I don't. I rate him. Don't get me wrong. The Parker win was a big win for him. Like that's a skill record. But before that, like I couldn't get why people were before he fought Lucas Brown. People were saying, "Oh, you should be fighting Wilder." And you're like, how can you fight Wilder when you've just beat Chisora? It's like it doesn't really work like that.
To be fair,
I think Dillian White's a couple. Go on, apologies. Sorry, bro. Go on.
Real quickly, Wilder's record is quite similar. So, yeah, I think he probably should have fought Wilder because their record's about the same.
That's a good point.
And that's one thing I like about Dillian White. He'll take any fight. He's not running from anyone. And that's what we want. You know, we want guys that are going to fight. And I'm not sure if he's ready. I'm not sure if he's ready for a Wilder. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, man. Because like I said, he's still learning. He's still quite. What is that noise? Cameron, mute your mic, please, bro. He's still quite green, you know, Dillian White. I think for him to stay away from Wilder's right hand for 36 minutes might be a big ask for him. So I'm not sure. I'd still like to see how he gets on with Chisora this time round, and we'll take it from there because he's getting better every time. So it's not like he's deteriorating. He's getting better. So we'll see.
I think he needs to fight. I agree. I think the Parker win was a massive win for him. Like that really solidifies him as a worthy world title challenger. I actually think the Chisora rematch is actually a pointless fight for him. It's a step back from the Parker fight. I feel like he should have fought someone like Brazil or Ortiz or someone like that. The Chisora rematch is big money, big money. But what does this do for him? Is this going to improve or his stock from beating Parker in terms of credibility? It's not.
Eddie's promised him the AJ fight. You can bet your life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're keeping White safe for that Joshua date. I can see why they're doing it, but Chisora for me, White's just going to box a lot smart. He's not going to get into a war with Chisora again. I think he's going to quite win a decision just by boxing the man.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Cameron. I'd have preferred to see him go to America and fight Baby Miller. That fight could have been made. There's a Brazil, a Dominic Brazil. That could have happened. And Luis Ortiz is there for him. These are all fights I'd prefer to see than Chisora. I know Chisora's probably a better fight than Dominic Brazil in the UK, but that's all about Eddie Hearn wanting pay-per-view money because he knows he couldn't have sold Dillian White, Dominic Brazil, I don't think. Pay-per-view, I don't understand.
No. Well, not even the casuals would have bought that fight.
No. So that's what that's down to. I mean, Eddie Hearn is really starting to show his true colours, that guy. Starting to go off him. I really am, man.
Butcher, I think I missed the predictions earlier on, man. I went.
Oh, by the way, Butcho's popped out, right? Just to get a drink and go to the toilet, I think he said. So I'll take over to you. Go on, Cameron.
No, I missed the predictions. I did hear it, but I was making food. That's why I missed it. I don't know what predictions you wanted me to give.
Well, I think we'll do a prediction show in the week. So it's just one opinion. We'll get that because Butcher likes to do one a day before the fight because people like change their mind, don't they? You know what I mean? What
fight is that?
Well, both fights, Warrington and.
Are they this weekend?
Both of them, yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting. I thought it was the week after Christmas. Yeah, I really like the Frampton Warrington fight. I'm actually quite excited about that fight. I'll be watching that fight. I'll probably watch the White Chisel fight afterwards. And then again, I might find a way to watch them both, but maybe watch the one after because I'm sure there'll be a podcast after this. After that fight, I think Frampton might win. I think Frampton might edge this out. I wasn't too impressed with Selby in the Warrington fight. I know it was a good win for Warrington, but I don't know. I just felt like something was lacking with Selby.
Yeah, the Warrington took the fight from him. Warrington took the fight. You can't fight at a slow pace. Selby's been guilty for that for ages. He's fighting at his own pace, think he can pop shot his way to a points win. Can't do that against Josh Warrington. He'll take your head off. Do you know what I mean? That's what he does. He comes at you, he makes you work. And when you haven't got it in you, he's the guys that have got it in him. If you haven't got it in him, Warrington will find you out. He'll find you out quickly. But
yeah,
that's what he does.
I think
that's his game.
I think I do edge to Frampton win this fight, but it's a really good fight. I really like this fight. I
just want to ask your opinion on one thing, though. I just want to ask your opinion on one more thing because a division up from this, Tank Davis, right? He's fighting Abner Mares. How did you? I want to see how do you think that goes? I want to see what you think.
I think Tank Davis runs through him. I really do. I think he runs through Abner Mares. Abner Mares looked good against. Who did he beat? It was at Quayer, right? But come on, I mean, I think Abner Mares is, he's moving up a division for this as well. I want to see Tank Davis against Burchell, Machado, one of those guys. Even Farmer, man. Like Tank Davis needs to fight one of these guys. Because he beat Pedraza, but we all said on this last podcast that if Pedraza turned up for Lomachenko, I think Jimmy said it, Pedraza probably would have beat Tank Davis that night. So he needs to fight someone.
Yeah, I don't think we go too much.
I don't think it's Tank. I think it's Tank's team, Mayweather or whatever, that are not confident in him fighting Burchell, Machado, and this is why they're going for Abner Mares, who they feel would be an easy fight. Number one, he's littler coming up, at least in weight, so they see it as a win for an easy win for Tank. If they had confidence in him, they would put him in those kind of fights. And I think going back to the whole Pedraza thing, that was just a total different game plan. Pedraza even looks smaller. Go look at Pedraza in that ring versus Pedraza Lomachenko. And don't tell me that there's not a size difference and you can't notice it.
I agree. I think Tank Davis, I mean, the problem is with this guy, and this is what really does mean, and even his fans are like this, man. Even these ridiculous fans are like, well, he's only 22 years old, he needs to get experience. This is a guy who had 400 amateur fights himself. Why does he need the experience? When you've had 400 amateur fights, you should be jumping straight into the deep.
How many amateur fights did Tank have?
Tank Davis had at least 300, 400 amateur fights. Something ridiculous
300 to 400 amateur fights?
He did have something ridiculous like that, yeah.
No, that's insane.
He had something like that, man. It was definitely. I mean, I'm not be over exaggerating. I think he was like 250.
He started fighting about 6, 7 years old, though, did he?
Yeah, he did.
American
fighters. He had hundreds of amateur fights.
I don't think there's any American. He has to be a record. I don't think there's any American fighter that have had that many amateur fights.
That's more than Golovkin and Lomachenko had.
And Nazar in the chat says he's had 220 amateur fights. I knew it was something like that. I was just blowing out proportion because these guys blow it out like
That's still impressive, Cameron. That's still impressive that he had 200 plus amateur fights.
And he's had 20 on that pro fights, man.
I just don't think Abner Mares is. I don't think Abner Mares is durable enough to take Tank. I mean, He's proved over the years. I think he gets hurt.
This is a guy who got knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez, who isn't as creative and fresh as Tank Davis is. So,
well, we all saw what Gary Russell did to him. So, you know, we'll leave it there on that one. Fucking hell, do you know what I mean? Mares don't. This is another cherry pick for me. Someone in the chat just said it. It's a cherry pick, and that's the way I see it. Mares is just coming up. Mares doesn't even own his own division. Never mind going up a division and trying to take, you know, one of the most dangerous guys in there.
Yeah, Tank Davis' amateur record was 205 wins, 15 losses. I mean, that's impressive. Like, that is impressive. But what
really matter, yeah, but amateurs don't really matter to me. I mean, we're talking pros, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Fucking amateurs. It don't, unless you've got gold medals, I don't want to talk about amateur pedigrees because he hasn't got one for me. You got to show me the gold medals.
No medals, man.
Well, there you go. I can go and have 500 fights if I never win fuck all. What does it mean? Like, Tank Davis is a very good fighter. He is a very good fighter. Don't get me wrong. A real talent. But this guy's, they're talking about this guy's going to go through Lomachenko, destroy him. Yet they're happy for him to fight. But an Abner Mares going up a division that's already proved that he's very vulnerable at the division below. And these guys were knocking him all over the place. I mean, let's be real. Santa Cruz fucking bullied him. And so I think
sorry, who was trying to talk?
No, I was going to say if Tank Davis was going to run through Lomachenko and his peoples that got his career felt the same way, they'd be trying to make that fight right now.
Do you know what makes me like that? Do you know what that super featherweight division could really do with World Boxing Super Series? You could have Davis, Machado, Burchelt, Farmer. There's some good contenders in there. That would be a really good tournament. I want to see Davis against these guys. I want to see Davis against a real killer.
You know something, Cameron? I think Tank would beat Farmer, but there's something about Farmer that kind of there's some pause for concern in the Tank camp. There's like a little bit of concern.
I think Farmer could cause Tank a lot of problems.
Right. He could lose the fight on the scorecards, but
go on, recognize.
Sorry about that, Stu. I didn't mean to jump it up. No, I could see Tank winning the fight on the scorecards, but he can like lay down the blueprint for better fighters to beat. I think that's what there might be some concern about that. Yeah. On the Tank side. Go ahead, Stu.
No, I just think Tevin Farmer's style could be a bit wrong for Tank. I mean, Tank likes for people to walk forward and land on his bombs, or he comes forward and just lets his hands go. I mean, there's no thought behind a lot of Tank's work. He's just exploding these bombs on people, and they're quick enough and got enough pop behind them to take you out. But I think to hit Farmer clean, I think you've got to think more about your work, and he could frustrate. I don't think he's going to knock Tank out. I don't think he has the power to that. But he could make it a difficult night for Tank, you know, especially a Tank that's overweight and not come in shape. You never know what Tank you're going to get. This guy don't train properly. I know he don't. Look at the weight he walks around. I don't think he sees a gym if he's out of camp.
The guy needs to get active. The guy needs to get active. He needs to. I want to see him fight someone like a Burchelt, Machado, a guy who's gonna stand there and take him to the trenches, because he's not fought anybody can do that yet.
What about what about AA boxing? What do you think about this fight, bro? AA boxing?
I think he's popped off somewhere.
Mr. popped out of the room.
Yeah. What other fights this weekend, man? Any other fights?
David Price v Tom Little.
Any meaningful fights? I mean, what's that for? Is there a final eliminator for an English title or something?
Oh, fuck knows. David Price is starting to con us out, con a living out of boxing now, isn't he? He's starting to con a living.
I'll tell you what he said. I saw something on Twitter about an hour ago. He said if he wins this fight, he wants that Kuzmin rematch in the new year.
Well,
yeah, the fight where he pulled out with an arm injury in the corner.
So, are you saying that he wants to? If he wins this fight, he wants to fight Povetkin again, or
no? Kuzmin, you know that Kuzmin he fought last time. He retired with an injury.
Okay.
The thing is,
Povetkin, I was gonna say why? Why would you want that?
Another devastating knockout for David Price, and it's over, man. Seriously, I mean, how many knockouts can this guy fucking be taking? That's not.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Go ahead, Cameron. Sorry.
I thought it was some sort of alarm clock or something.
Yeah.
I think the next time Khan gets knocked out, he should retire.
Yeah. Especially those knockouts where his head bounces off the canvas. That's not good for your brain. Not at all, man.
The thing with him, Bucho, the Canelo knockout. Oh man, it's still in my head. Like,
looked like he died, man. It looked like he died.
Yeah.
How did he get back up? How did he come back? How did he come back to his senses? I don't even.
Canelo thought he died. Canelo thought he died.
Yeah, Canelo immediately went over and to see what the hell was.
Amir Khan met the creator that night. His spirit lifted out his head.
No, he followed. He went. He touched the light.
Allah
basically,
himself. He actually met Allah himself. And Allah must have said to him, "We're not done with you, Khan. You know, you're an entertaining guy. I want to see you get knocked out again." So,
you want to know something too, Stuart? That wasn't a sneaky knockout. That wasn't he got caught in the exchange. That was Canelo saying, "All right, I'm done playing games with you. This fight's over," and he almost killed him. Like that's what made it to me even worse. It was like there was nothing sneaky about that. It was nothing. It was okay. You know, I'm done with this little charade of us dancing around, and it's time for the fight to end.
And his family. I don't think his father even gives a shit. I mean, he's probably encouraging Amir Khan to keep on going, man.
Yeah,
seriously, because you're getting
funny thing about
some money out of that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you seen?
Yeah, the funny thing about the knockout is that Canelo hits him, he walks off, raises his hand, looks back, is like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
John makes me laugh, right? I don't know if you've seen it, but this whole Khan, I don't want to get into it. I really don't. It's so fucking old. But this Khan Brook thing, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but on Twitter, Khan done an interview recently talking about how he heard that Brook was gay. I mean, this is the levels that he's to come out.
Wow, it's getting to the high school.
The thing is, Cameron, right? Amir Khan's got a damn right cheek to talk about Kell Brook. Whether it's true or not, this is a guy that's fucking was playing with his fucking Todger to a transgender. This guy was chasing a transgender around, wanting to do fucking anal sex with him. So and then he's talking about Kell Brook. This guy is a proper weirdo, mate. So it's like Freddie Mercury telling someone that they're gay. Do you know what I mean? It just
Mercury. You made me laugh, right? It's the fact that Khan this is a guy who was on Skype, pissing about with a woman on Skype as well. I mean, come on. And then he took his thingy on. He took his missus on Good Morning to talk about that tranny thing, didn't he? Fuck's sake.
To be honest, I think that's all for attention. That's to stay relevant.
Him and his missus were in problems, weren't they? This was early this year, and they went on Good Morning talking about how they're really happy and stuff, and they're putting a tranny thing behind them and things like that.
Because they want to stay relevant. He hasn't fought anybody, man. He needs to stay relevant. He's like one of those Hollywood stars that, you know, come out with a fucking sex tape. Oh, a leaked sex tape, you know.
Yeah, like, he's like the creepy porn lawyer. It just has to be in the limelight for something. You know
yeah. Here's a question: how did this porn tape, these how did they leak out?
Yeah,
the woman obviously the woman obviously recorded Khan playing with his cock on Skype and obviously sold it. A lot of money, innit? So
I hope they had a fucking zoom in option. Fuck's sake, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
If you type, I mean, look, not that I've done this. If you type in Amir Khan Skype, it'll come up on Google.
Yeah, but the thing is, a funny thing about this, right? All of a sudden, it's known in boxing. Like Amir Khan comes out of it, and all these little fanboys. You get these comments in the sections. Oh, it's a known fact that Kell's a homosexual. Everyone knows it. What's the big? Yeah. Only when Amir Khan says it, all of a sudden people are coming out saying it. Never before was it mentioned. I mean, I know he sounds a bit like one, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? But that don't mean anything. I don't know if he is. I'm not going to say he is. I'm not going to say he's not. But these people, all of a sudden, Amir Khan said it, and all of a sudden he's Don Lemon.
In the chat. In the chat, Pop Tart Gun says, "Khan better be careful, or Muslims will throw him over a roof." And
yeah.
After they rape him.
Yeah. And who else said? James Walker says he can still box though. So he says he's still a good boxer though. Don't get me. He's a good boxer. Very fast, just no chin, man.
No. Amir Khan would let Muslims rape him if it gets him in the papers. Fact.
I can see him releasing the sex tape, like a full-on sex tape with his
You know what?
Oh, he definitely could, yeah.
I bet Amir Khan hired a public relations specialist who's like advising him on how to.
Like, in that interview where he spoke about Kell Brook being gay, it didn't even get asked. He just goes, "Well, you know, I've heard that, you know, Kell Brook, you know, he's homosexual," something like that. I mean, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, he's trying to instigate.
If I was the reporter, I would have said, "Oh, what about that time that you got robbed in Birmingham, Amir, and they took your man bag from your Range Rover, and you had to run." They took his bag and looked in it, and there was fucking cocaine and everything in there, man. So this guy, he talks about everyone else. This guy's a known cokehead. He plays with his Todger on Skype in front of randoms. He chases transgenders around. Do you know what I mean? And he's got a cheek to talk about Kell Brook.
Yeah, and what's so funny is that, you know, they keep insulting each other back and forth. But like you said, in the UK, you said most people don't even care about that fight.
No, I don't. Nobody cares. I'm not gonna say nobody cares, but I think Stu would agree that, like, nobody's excited. Nobody talks about this Khan Brook fight anymore. Like, nobody's sitting going, "I really want to see that fight." Nobody says that anymore, man. It's well past its days.
The way Eddie Hearn's going on, the galaxy want to see it. The whole universe want to see this fight. But I mean, you're struggling. We're bored of it, bro. It's just tiring. It's boring. I don't care anymore. You know, and that's what it is. They're both coming off terrible performances. I mean, it's only going to get worse by the looks of it. I mean, what are we getting excited for? Which guy gets knocked out? Which has-been gets knocked out first? Is that going to be the title of the fight?
Joe, even if this fight got announced, like, even if on the fight day, it would just be a normal fight for me. Like, I wouldn't get buzzed about it. I'd watch it, but I wouldn't get buzzed about it. Not anymore. This fight should have happened when Khan beat Alexander and Brook beat Porter. That's when it should have happened. And
it would be pay-per-view on top of that, like Sky Box Office and shit.
Of course
so
it would. It would
imagine.
be pay-per-view. It would flop on pay-per-view, I reckon, no?
Corruption's in the chat talking about. Hang on a minute, recognise. Corruption's in the chat talking about Amir Khan giving a lot to charity, and he does. I'm not saying he's a bad man. I'm just saying.
No, nobody's saying that. I don't know what
throwing stone at glass houses sort of thing. You know, you're talking about Kell Brook. Yeah, you do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I just know he gets knocked out a lot and he talks a lot of shit. But yeah, maybe he does give to charity. We have Boxing Style on the line.
I'm gonna blow this internet up right about now. Bro, what's up? What's up with all that shit talking, bro? I'm being real. I'm because I picked Varnes.
What's up, Boxing Style?
Yeah, that's the dopest intro, man.
I love that you put in the bit where he goes, "I'll pick Varnes as well."
Oh yeah, I did. Like the part where he goes, "What's up? What's up with you talking all that shit now?"
Yeah.
This motherfucker never learns that I didn't pick Varnes, bro. I went 12. I said 12 rounds. 12 rounds.
You picked Varnes, bro.
Like this 6 years from now, he picked Varnes, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
you pick your Armenian.
No,
did you pick Boxing Style? Did you pick Rocky Fielding by KO?
No. But I was pretty surprised with Canelo how he took him out. I thought he would last at least 6 rounds at least. He just pummeled him, man. That was
gentlemen,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna drop off because it has nothing to do with apology, okay? It just
boxing style.
Boxing style.
Oh, whatever, bro. It's just me. It's me.
I mean,
you know
boxing
it.
style. Excuse me.
Get your ass out of here.
Yeah, apology. Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry.
All right.
See you,
bro.
Adios.
Hey, did you guys remember if we wrote down the predictions for Canelo Fielding, or is it just my imagination?
You watch it, Cameron.
Guys, do you remember if I wrote down the predictions for Canelo Fielding?
What prediction?
Like before the Canelo Fielding fight, we did a show, and I think I wrote down predictions for that fight, like your predictions. But I don't know if I did.
Why?
Because we were trying to predict which round we were, like if somebody was gonna get the round correct.
Oh, I guess.
Oh yeah, fucking Boxing Style took my fucking round 6 one.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. I did write it down.
That doesn't really matter though. It was a decision. You failed.
Was it
what do you mean the decision?
Fight? It wasn't the Rocky Fielding fight.
Oh, that's Lomachenko. Yeah, you're right. It was.
I was gonna say Lomachenko too. It's Lomachenko. It wasn't Fielding. I wasn't even around for the Fielding decision making.
Yeah, we didn't do it. Okay, that's fine.
That's because you thought Fielder was going to win by KO. There's no point.
I never said that. I've been on point for like how long right now? Maybe ever since that Triple G Canelo. That was the only one I made a mistake on.
What do you mean?
And the fact that Varnes was going to go decision.
No. From that point on, I haven't made a mistake.
Okay, what was your prediction for Fury against Wilder? What was your prediction for Fury
Wilder? I said Fury's gonna win by decision, but obviously I said there was gonna be some kind of trickery and shit. I was hoping for that decision.
Booch, I've got an idea for maybe an end of the year show where I mean it might take a bit of time, but we need to find all the predictions throughout the year and pick who had the worst fucking predictions of the year, man. Because I reckon there's gonna be some stinkers in there somewhere.
Yeah, I can try and do that. I'm pretty sure.
I picked Gassiev to beat Usyk for fuck's sake. I mean,
yeah, I picked that as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be some real stinkers in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really get with that one because I went back and forth with Gassiev and Usyk, and then I decided not to pick any one of them. I just didn't pick anyone. For that one fight, I didn't pick anybody.
Anyone that picked David Haye second fight against Bellew should be fucking shot.
Oh, you didn't go there. No.
Who did it? Did you?
I was that guy.
Oh my god!
There is some boxing news.
David Haye, man, he could have had it.
Yeah, but did the one leg like fucking warn you off that battle?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a mistake. I learned from my mistakes.
Hey guys, there is some boxing news I did here today. Suskets or Rumvensai is probably going to be. Well, this is apparently it's being negotiated. Rumvensai is going to be fighting Johan and Carhas in the unification in March. I like that fight. That's a good fight.
Yeah,
Rumvensai and Carhas for the WBC and IBF. Sorry.
When's that fight?
In March, it's been eyed for ESPN.
I'd rather watch the Warrington fight.
That's because it's this weekend. Not
we're talking about March.
Yeah, but still, I wouldn't watch that fight.
Okay, no, you're out of.
Sell out of left field, mate.
All right, how is 2019 shaping up so far? Let's see.
What fights we got already? We got Furman Lopez, great fight.
Yep, great fight.
I won't ever.
We got Spence Garcia.
I got. Let's go. January, we have Jose Uzcategui against Caleb Plant. That's on January 13. Then January 18, Brian Jennings, Oscar Rivas. Nobody cares.
I like that fight.
Yeah.
Do you rate Caleb Plant then?
Well, I think
not really. But I think
I like him. It's hard to say where he is because we've not really seen a lot of him. He seems to be always first on the card, doesn't he? So you don't really get this.
Caleb Plant is the shit, man. Caleb Plant, his skills are impeccable. It's gonna be a good fight.
Is he the shit? Is he the shit like Varnes was the shit for the Golovkin?
No, I like that kind of shit. But Varnes is pretty good, man. Don't be jealous.
No,
doesn't have a chin on him.
I like Caleb. That Caleb Plant fight, I think that's a good fight.
Yeah, I was talking about Brian Jennings against Oscar Rivas.
That's a good fight. I think that's a good fight.
Yeah.
Oscar Rivas has needed to step up for so fucking long. I interviewed him at the start of the year. I was like, are you going to fight? I was like, when do you expect to fight a top 15 guy? And he was like, by the end of the year. So Brian Jennings is a good fight for him.
Yeah. He's been around for how long? I thought nobody.
Well, he had eye injuries, man. He couldn't get a license in the US. He had an eye injury and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb beats Uzgati, but I'm picking Uzgati to win by decision.
All right.
But yeah, we're not doing prediction shows for like 6 months away.
I'm just saying anyway from now.
All right, let's continue. Then the same day in New York, Demetrius Andrade against Artur Akavov.
Oh God.
In the undercard, Jarrell Baby Miller against TBA. So I don't like
that's gonna be another shit fight for Jarrell Miller then.
Yeah. Oh, in the same undercard, you have Linares versus TBA and Chris Algieri versus
No,
TBA.
he's fighting Pablo Cesar Cano, Linares on that card.
Oh, Cano. Man, Cano's still fighting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is that guy still around?
He fought Morales. Is he the same guy?
Mexican,
oh my God. All right. January 19th. Write this down, people. January 19th at Las Vegas Showtime pay-per-view. Manny Pacquiao takes on Adrian Broner for the WBA regular welterweight title. Ooh.
You know that Dante's Boxing Nation is gonna be waving his pom-poms at that moment. Somewhere out there, hoping for Broner to pull it off.
Well, I don't even know if Brian will even make weight, man.
Yeah, man, I can see something
You
like that
still
happening.
look
And the guy
fat.
just smiling.
I was
He
gonna say
doesn't give a
something.
fuck.
BDA in the chat. Cameron likes that fight because he had Brian Jens on his podcast. That is that is a good fight.
Yeah, I've noticed that, Cameron. Anyone that talks to Cameron is a world class fighter.
Nah.
That's why.
I won't go that far. I'm not going to sit here and say. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of fighters, but I've shit on a lot of fighters I've interviewed after as well. Yeah, I mean, that's a good fight. Jennings and Rivers is a tough fight to call.
In the chat, Corruption in Boxing says that Kazuto Ioka versus Donny Nietes on December 31st in China for the WBO Super Flyweight title.
That's a good fight.
Is the biggest fight of the year, in his opinion. Yeah, it's a good fight. Obviously, I guess Ioka is the favorite. I don't know by how much. Let me just.
I really like Donny Nietes. He's really skilled, man.
What happened to the Charlo sisters?
They're fighting this weekend.
I wasn't around, so what happened to them?
Nothing's happened.
Nothing's happened.
Go back and check the hangout, man. We're talking about
Oh, come on, man.
No, man, we're not going back.
you come on here?
Oh, I said it in a few words. Just what happened.
All right.
No, man.
We're fighting back. Is that enough?
They're fighting.
Let it be brief.
They're fighting
bums.
They're fighting bums. They're fighting, yes.
Okay.
That's all you need to know.
That explains everything.
That's all you need to know. All right.
Oh my god.
Guys, write this down as well. Next year, everybody in the chat as well. January 26th at New York, Fox and Fox Deportes. Keith Thurman versus Josecito Lopez, 12 rounds for Thurman's WBA welterweight title. Yep, he still has a title after all these years. What a crap fight. Josecito Lopez is not even a welterweight. He's a 140-pounder, in my opinion.
Terrible at that weight as well.
Terrible.
He's been welterweight for a long time. Like,
yeah, I know, but he should have. He only moved up because of fight opportunities, like against Maidana, and even he moved up to 150
he fought Canelo at 154.
Yeah,
he did.
But he's not physically.
It was the Ortiz fight that got him the Canelo fight.
He broke Ortiz's jaw, to be fair. Fair play.
Yeah, but that's because he keeps his mouth open like a fucking idiot.
I think the fucking water that guy threw on him broke his jaw that time as well.
Well, the Berto fight.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, guys, based on Canelo's performance with Rocky Fielding, I would like to see Triple G fight Calum. I think you could probably finish him too. We never know.
Well,
those motherfuckers' bodies don't look right, man. Like they're tall, but I don't know if they can take good body shots. They seem like they seem like they'll break, man. Because when I saw what's his name, what's Rocky Fielding next to Canelo looked like a tank in front of them in the body.
Yeah, but Callum's way is different.
Callum's way better than
true. But the body is pretty much the same, man.
No, it's not. Check it out.
I don't know, man. I watch bodies all the time. I'm a physical therapist, so I gotta watch bodies all the time.
I'll be right up your street.
No, but real shit. Like the first time I noticed it, like I'm like maybe Rocky would go 8 with him and shit. But after I saw that weight, I'm like, maybe he's gonna break him to the body, man. He's just gonna crush him.
It's nothing to do with his body shape. It's the fact that he's just useless. I mean, look, I'm not going to be harsh. He's not useless. He's just not very good. I mean, let's be real. I've said earlier in the show, he's the 5th best super middleweight in the UK, not the world, in the UK. So this is where we are in levels. So don't be surprised when Canelo's chopping him down like a tree, because this guy's a pound-for-pound fighter. Golovkin would have done the same to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How bad it would look? How bad would it look if Thurman didn't knock out Lopez? It looks so
I can
bad.
see him not knocking him out. You know,
He has to, man. He has to knock him out.
No, he will.
No, because Thurman's been fighting like on the back foot and not really sitting down.
Yeah, but Lopez is trash, man, compared to the other.
No power.
I can see it going 12 though. I can see it going 12, man.
No, Thurman will clean Lopez out.
Bet on it.
Yeah, he has to.
He will do. Thurman will stop Lopez, and it'll be 5th or 6th round around there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
Lopez was done when he fought Ortiz. He gave his last hurrah then. And how many years ago was that? Canelo actually, I was surprised he's even fighting again after
that was what, 7 years ago?
There you go. And he was losing fights then, and that was his prime, and he was still losing. I mean, what makes you think this guy is 7 years on? I mean, we praise Fury for being for 2 years of that doing anything, 3 years of that doing anything. Fucking 7 years, this guy. I mean,
all right, yeah, Homer's Odyssey here. All right, February 2nd, from Frisco, Texas, ESPN Deportes, Eledier Alvarez against Sergey Kovalev, the rematch.
Yeah, good fight.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I don't know. Kovalev might
win that one though. If Kovalev will understand his limitations when it comes to that 7th and 8th round, he'll play a little more safe.
You feel that he's limited. He doesn't train that hard, man. That's the problem.
He drinks a lot, man. I heard from a trainer.
He
smokes and drinks, and he boxes, which is ridiculous. But I mean, I used to smoke when I was in the army and ran, so that's possible.
I like this fight. You know, it's quite a good fight. There's not many better fights in the division. There's obviously better fights to be made, but not many. And I like it. I don't know where Kovalev is though. I'm not sure.
I mean, Kovalev was winning the fight before he got knocked out, so I'm intrigued in the rematch.
That's where the fitness comes in, mate. You know, it's a 12-round fight. It's all right looking good for the first few rounds, but then when things get a bit tough for you and you get tired, and the tank empties quick, and you're getting taken out. It's a 12-round fight, bro. It's like the 100-meter sprint. It's all right being quick for 90 minutes, for 90 meters, but then everyone takes over you in the last 10. What does that mean? So, you know, you have to be in tip-top shape. And I don't know if Kovalev is training to that sort of level anymore.
If he plays the defensive game, he'll be all right. I mean, if he knows how to, you know, not to overexert himself, because in that fight, when I didn't watch it live, I watched it afterwards. It looked like he was overexerting. He was looking for the KO every single round instead of, you know, pacing himself a little bit every now and then. And then he got caught with that ridiculous right hand.
Yeah,
that was it. If he paces himself, he'll be all right. I think he'll go 12 rounds. He'll win by a decision, or maybe KO him in the later rounds. Maybe he gets lucky.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what happened. February 15th, we have Rob Brandt against TBA. All right. February 16th, Leo Santa Cruz against Miguel Flores. That's on Fox.
That's the worst fight of the whole lot.
Yeah, and in the undercard, Omar Figueroa Jr. versus John Molina Jr. That's on Fox, so that's free TV.
Another shit fight.
That's free TV, guys.
A word you never hear from Leo Santa Cruz. Well, I've not heard this word for many years now. I don't know how long it's been, but Belfast. Just that word just don't come out of his mouth anymore. He was meant to go and fight Frampton in Belfast.
He said he would.
He said he would. He promised it in the rematch when they had it, and he didn't take it. And he's fought below caliber opponents since then. I mean, let's be real. When he was champion before that, he wasn't taking on great fights, and he's becoming a bit of a
Miguel Flores.
He's becoming a bit of a joke, Santa Cruz. I like Santa Cruz. I think he's a very good fighter. I do.
Question. Is Santa Cruz's career going to shit? Like it's. Yes. I mean, he's prime.
He fought Pointless Mares rematch his last fight. Now he's fighting this fucking garbage fight.
Let's be real. The toughest fight he has been in was Frampton, and he lost one of them.
And you know what? And he's Mexican. He has he could build a pretty solid following, and he's wasting that opportunity by just fighting these bums.
Why the fuck do you not find Gary Russell Jr.? Well, these two on PBC, no mandatories, 2 belts. Why the fuck isn't that fight being made?
Because he could have a solid fan base, man, easily.
Yeah.
And Mexicans don't even talk about this guy, man.
No, because he doesn't give them anything to talk about.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
How long has this guy been champion? I know he lost his title for a short period when he fought Frampton. He got it back off Frampton. But since he won that title, right, he's been allowed to go up these divisions as well. Cherry pick the title. It's always the WBC for some reason. They've always feed it on a plate to him.
Because he's Mexican.
Yeah, of course it is. They feed it on a plate to him. And this guy has been champion for years. You were talking five years, I'd say. It's got to be. Oh, he had that little break off when he lost to Frampton, but 5 years. And who is he for? A small Abner Mares. You know, He fought Frampton twice, lost once.
And the thing is,
didn't he fight his sparring partner one time? I remember that. I forgot his name.
He fought so many trash cans. It's hard to remember.
But the thing is,
I think it was Ruiz or something like that.
But the thing is,
his sparring partner.
The chat talking about Valdez. I mean, that's a good fight for Santa
Oh, that's
Cruz.
a good fight. But then that's top rank. It's different promotion. I know. Yeah, it's different promotional companies, but who cares, right? That's the fight that should be taking. One of the fights that should be taking place.
What about Scott Quigg then? Scott Quigg had a great fight with Valdez. Gave Valdez all he could handle. That even him fighting Santa Cruz would be better.
Oh yeah,
he's been fighting.
That's a possible.
That'll be action-packed fight. That'll be a good fight.
Well, yeah, because they'll go to war.
Yeah, but again, the promotional
company. Anywhere else
companies.
he's fought except for Frampton, you have to say. So,
But the thing is, despite all of this, I think Santa Cruz is pretty skillful, and I mean, he showed it in the rematch against Frampton. He decided to box, and he did a pretty good job. So
yeah, he made the adjustments and got to win that fight. Fair play to him. But I actually like Cruz in a fight. I love watching him fight. But when he's fighting garbage opponents, man, it's just.
This is my problem. My problem is not his talent. I mean, I think he could do it all. He could box. He could go to war, and he's a very good fighter, Santa Cruz. He's tough as fucking mouse as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not knocking him as a fighter, but I'm knocking the career. Like you said, Butcher, is his career going to shit? And the answer is yes, bro. It has gone to shit.
yeah.
And this is a shame because he could have been a real Mexican. I thought he was going to. 5 years ago, I was tipping that guy to be a real Mexican star because you could just tell him.
Yes, me too. By now in my head, when I was thinking back about like where he was gonna be in the future, right now he should be like at 130 now. He should have been fighting the 126 champions, and now he should have been moving up to 130. He's still at 126 because he hasn't done much at 126 besides those Frampton fights. That's it. There's still other fighters there that he hasn't fought.
A true Mexican star is Zurdo Ramirez that should be coming out, man. Zurdo Ramirez is hell of a talent.
All right.
No, he hasn't got the No, he's fighting gash opponents. No, it's not exciting to watch.
I mean, he should be, bro. But he's pretty good, man. He's a very talented motherfucker. He could be. He's a top guy in the super middleweight.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask all 5 of you guys a question. How many of you have watched the Ramirez Jesse Hart rematch? Be honest.
I didn't watch it, but I saw replays.
There you go, man. That says all about Zurdo Ramirez, doesn't it? Right.
But because it's a guy that he fought before, I already knew the result. He was gonna beat him. I didn't think he was gonna KO him either. I thought he was gonna go decision just like the first fight. But
I
remember the last meaningful fight I watched Ramirez in, to be honest with you.
Arthur Abraham, probably the last one I watched.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're ducking him or what's really going on with that fool because he should be fighting.
No. Bob Arum didn't put him in the World Boxing Super Series. He didn't. He didn't want to do it. Nobody's ducking him, man. He could have entered that tournament, made a lot of money.
Then why isn't Caleb not calling his ass out or something?
Because he's in a new Who Needs Him club. Nobody cares. Nobody needs him.
Because Bob Arum.
Nobody cares about that undisputed title.
No, Bob Arum thinks.
Call out Ramirez when he's doing absolutely zero at the moment.
There you go.
Bob
the title. He has a title over there.
When you're the champion, you don't. Mate, them titles don't mean anything to me anymore.
It does mean something if you're undisputed.
That title means as much to me as that one that Jake Paul's walking around in. The one he's walking around. That's what that title means to me.
No, but it matters if you get all the belts in that division.
Yeah,
man.
I know he's saying boxing style, but like I said, this guy is a champion and he's doing nothing with that belt. He's not trying to fight. He's a protected champion.
Nobody's calling for Gilbert. Nobody's calling for Callum Smith to fight Gilbert Ramirez. Nobody's calling for Benavidez to fight Ramirez because nobody knows about him because he's fighting absolute garbage. Nobody cares about Gilbert Ramirez. Look. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter because I don't think he is. He's a champion. Fair play to him. But the guy's fought nobody watched his fights because he's fought nobody of note. He made a big mistake not entering that World Boxing Super Series, and Bob Arum wants to milk that belt with him. He fought Max fucking Bursak, who was 160-pounder, who's fought nobody at 160. That's why this guy's irrelevant.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but they should still call his ass up because he got the belt. They should do it just to put him out there. But nobody really wants to. Because I think he is the most skillful out of all of them. Realistically speaking, he has the best reflexes. He has the best. Well, probably even combination-wise, he has the best.
When you go to world level boxing style, sometimes, even if you're a lot more talented than the next guy, you can find a way to win. That's what separates the average fighters to the elite fighters. You're going to come across styles that are going to you're going to be able to get your own work off. It's going to trouble you. Someone's going to take you to deep waters. We don't know any of this about Ramirez because he's not put himself in that situation. You can look pretty on the back.
How old is this kid anyway?
I've seen so many fighters look slick and pretty and throw nice shots, and then when they come in with a brute force, they get their hearts snapped.
Yeah, but how old is he by now? Like, how old is this kid?
I don't know because I don't care anymore.
Me neither. Can I say something quick about Ramirez?
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of like, in a way, he's kind of like Mikey Garcia in a way, but...
Oh, God, no. Apologies, say what you're going to say.
Yeah.
He kind of is. He's kind of like Mikey Garcia because, he doesn't have anybody of note in his record.
Hasn't fought anyone rating him at all. I think he's going to be found out when he fights someone good.
You'll find out that he's pretty good, bro. Ramirez is very good.
Man, he's going to quit. He gets hit too easy. He's crap, man.
He ain't going to quit, man. He ain't a quit type. I don't think he is.
How do you know that? He hasn't fought anybody. No, to push him.
No, I can tell, man. He's not.
He looks at the body. He's looking at the body.
Too easy, though.
If you look at,
he's got a good body. Anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm not checking out the body, bro. I'm not checking out the body.
People in the chat are saying that he's moving up to 75 and he's called out Gavodstik. Well, he wants to get knocked out.
Oh, Gavodstik can beat him, but I think he'll be hard to hit. He won't be that easy to hit. I don't know what Apology's talking about.
Boxing style, do you not see the Jesse Hart? Do you not see the Jesse Hart fights? And Jesse Hart is a nobody, and he's hitting him.
Yeah, Jesse Hart's fought nobody of note either.
Yeah, he hits him, but man, I guess his defense might not be that great, but I don't know. If he chooses to, he doesn't want. If he doesn't want to get hit, he won't get hit, and he'll throw combinations at your ass. I've seen this fool, man. He's pretty good. Man, you guys underrating his ass big time.
It's only because he's fought nobody of note. I mean, this is a guy. He's had 6 total defenses or something. He's fought absolutely fuck all, mate.
He had like 35 fights or something like that.
His best win is a shot off at Abraham. This is a guy who Chris Eubank beat the shit out of.
Doesn't he have like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.?
No, he doesn't. No, Gilberto Ramirez doesn't. No.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's fought Max Bursack, like Corruption in the chat. He's beat Max Ballsack. That's top of the fucking
Ballsack.
All right, let's move on. Let's keep on going here. February 23rd.
Boxing style, what's going on?
Yeah, boxing style. Come on, man.
It's a garbage truck, bro. Taking out my garbage.
They're taking out boxing style's garbage and Gilberto Ramirez resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
All right. February 23rd, we have Anthony Durrell against Afni Yildirim. Oh, God.
Oh, God, man. How are Durrell still getting title shots? I don't know.
Yeah. That's for the WBC Super Middleweight title. All right, moving on. March. Now we're in March. Oh, March 9th at Las Vegas, Fox. So this is free TV. Sean Porter versus Yordenis Ugas. 12 rounds for Porter's WBC welterweight title. Who did Ugas beat?
Wasn't he rumored to be fighting Spence next before this Porter fight, wasn't he, right?
I don't know.
But he was an option. Wasn't he Spence's mandatory or something? Might be wrong about
that. I have no idea.
No, I don't know who he beat. He beat somebody. I know you're on about his competent name to the face.
Or lost to somebody. Anyways.
No. I think that's a solid fight, to be honest.
I'll watch that. Let's say, I mean, Sean Porter, he's exciting, so whatever.
Yeah.
All right, March 16th, we have Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, 12 rounds. That's going to be on Fox pay-per-view, the first Fox pay-per-view that I've ever seen. I mean, why would you... I don't even know if I'm going to be paying for this. I don't even know how I'm going to watch this because I don't want to go to a bar and I don't want to pay for this.
Why would you pay for it? This is a shit fight.
Yeah, actually is really bad.
I want to see... there's no undercard yet, but I want to see the undercard. But I don't have very high hopes.
This fight could ruin Mikey Garcia's career. Just like the Golovkin fight did with Brooke, honestly.
You think... Yeah. Well... I mean, is Errol Spence like fucking Golovkin?
No, but he's a big welterweight, and Mikey Garcia's a small, light welterweight, right? So
You guys might be surprised when Mikey goes all 12 with him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You'll be surprised, man. That motherfucker ain't stupid, man. Mikey's not dumb. That's all I gotta say. He's not dumb.
I just think this is a mismatch. I mean, if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong, but I don't see Garcia lasting the distance.
He might pull off a Triple G Canelo the first fight. He might do that crazy shit like that. You never know, though. The steroids, bro. With these drugs. With these drugs, you don't know what anything could happen.
Please watch this now. You're gonna embarrass yourself. You're gonna come back to this podcast.
I didn't embarrass myself with fucking Fury, did I? I told you guys what was gonna happen.
Yeah, embarrass yourself with Varnes.
Varnes was a while back. It was Varnes. I just said Triple G's gonna win him 12 rounds, but I made a mistake. But this one, I don't know. I'm not gonna bet on it, but I have this feeling that he might just go. Huh?
If you're confident, why not bet on it? You'll make big money.
Because I don't know what will happen. I don't know how good Mikey will come out. Who knows? He might come out like Canelo came out with Triple G, or he might not come out like that out.
You have to check his body, right?
Of course, I gotta check that body, bro. I gotta do that FBI shit.
In the chat, Overhand says that Spence deserves to be robbed if it goes 12 rounds. It's true, though. I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine Mikey shows up all roided up and all, like, beef and cut. And then he just throws a 1-2 and you see fucking Spence down. That would be like...
He's got no muscle tone at 140. Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't even have the body frame.
He's fat, man. He's fat at welterweight.
Yeah,
He's very fat.
It's anyways.
What's his gas tank going to be like at 147? You know what I mean? It's just... No. Especially when you've got a guy
it's not like he can clinch himself
and...
out of trouble, huh? It's not like he can clinch himself out of trouble because Spence is much bigger. Those grappling parts of the fight are going to be won by...
Or was it Salido? One of those guys had him on his ass at featherweight.
Yeah, but that's different, though. That's a different Garcia. The Garcia now is not the same Garcia that was when he was off for 2 years. Before that, that's not the same Garcia. It's just a different guy. Like his mindset is different. The way he fights.
Garcia is very hittable. Very.
Oh, he is. But I mean, that doesn't mean that he gets KO'd by this
mindset.
I mean, the only way that I see Errol getting him is with a body shot to the nuts. That's his bread and butter. And I don't know if he works on his body and his defense on the body, then Mikey should be fine.
How did you determine that his mindset is different now? Or
you can look at it, man. Look at his fights. I'm good with this kind of shit. I know. I can read people
I'm just asking.
I can read people. I can read people pretty good, bro. I could tell. Like it's just a different. Like the way he fought when he felt like he was a child back in the day. When you watch his fights now, it's like he's a grown man. He's in his 30s or some shit. He's probably in his 30s. He has a different feel to it. Like I'm not saying he's completely different, but he's different, like a major difference.
All right, we'll see what happens then. Then we have March 24th. Oh no, sorry, the March 23rd at New York, ESPN. Terence Crawford versus TBA. Is there any rumors of who's gonna be fighting though? Crawford, no rumors. Let's see the chat.
He's gonna fight Khan apparently.
Oh yes, Amir Khan. I don't want to see that. Well, actually, I do. That's a good.
I'll be with Cal Brooks' favorite to get the fight though.
Imagine Khan and Brooke are fighting each other to get that fight. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get Terence Crawford's attention.
Well,
I think Crawford would go with Amir Khan. It's an easier fight, and Amir Khan is more popular than Kell Brook, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was Crawford fight Brook.
Kell Brook's got two options. One's Amir Khan, the other's Jared Hurd. So
what?
I don't know. Jared Hurd would hurt him, man.
Yeah.
That Brook the other night he would.
No, he might have Vanes Martirosyan. You never know.
oh, can you just stop?
I had to put it out there.
Crack it in.
March 24th, we have Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets.
That's a good fight.
It's a good fight. I mean, yeah, why not?
Peterson's shot, but Lipinets is good, man. Good in the Garcia fight. I like him.
April 12th at Los Angeles on ESPN, Vasily Lomachenko against TBA. All right.
That's gonna be a winner. That's gonna be a winner of the Richard Comey fight, apparently.
Oh yeah.
For unification.
Unification. Yeah. April 13th at London, DAZN, Anthony Joshua versus TBA.
Looks like it's gonna be Jarrell Miller.
Yeah. Or the winner of this weekend's fight, no?
Well,
depends on how this fight goes, right?
I think
let's say Dylan White stops Chisora.
He deserves it.
Joshua will get slaughtered if he fights Jarrell Miller.
Yeah. Trust me, that fight
What?
Nobody cares about Jarrell Miller, for God's sake.
Oh, what are you gonna say now?
Oh no! You said Joshua gets slaughtered if he fights Jarrell.
Yeah, and then by the fans.
Not slaughtered in the fight, slaughtered by the press and the fans.
I see.
The press will lick his ass, but the real boxing fans will not be happy with that.
Even the casuals, I think, will be like, "What the fuck's going on here?"
At the same day on Fox Sports, Caleb Truax versus Peter Quillen.
Holy shit! Peter Quillen's completely forgot about that.
Yeah, but I mean, why not? Why not? It's gonna be the end of Peter Quillen.
Good to see him back again, fighting once every 2 years. It'd be good to see him back.
Yeah. April 30th on Fox, Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. That's a okay fight in my opinion. Granados always shows up to fight, but always loses.
I think Garcia will outbox him.
Although some people think that he beat Broner. Do you guys think?
Where's Dylan White and Chisora? I want to watch that.
That's
this weekend.
This is weekend?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it. Big time.
That's pretty much all we have.
Casual.
That's all we have for next year. That's been announced.
Suck on these nuts.
You're a casual if you're watching this over the Warrington Frampton card.
What? No, fuck that, man. I'll watch that fight. I actually want to see how good. I want to see how well Dylan White how much has he improved? Dylan White.
Not much. I mean,
he beat Joseph Parker, so.
Yeah, but he got knocked out by Joseph Parker in the last. I mean,
he played dirty with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is the better boxer between the two. But let's see how good he is with his boxing skills against Chisora, a guy that definitely beat him in my eyes the first time around. Got gifted with that decision.
He'll win easy this time.
How do you know?
You don't know that. I don't see that happening.
I think he'll outbox him. I'm not going to say like a fucking 12-round shot, but I think he'll win clearly on a points decision. Chisora's shot.
Chisora also fights dirty, just like he does.
Chisora's shot, man. Just because he knocked out Takam with a one-off right hand.
You know why he knocked out Takam? Because he was doing low blows and all kinds of shit on him. That's why he knocked out Takam. That's why he knocked him out, bro. I mean, that's the reason why. And if he plays dirty just like Dylan White does, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I think he might beat him. You never know. You might.
Here's a real question. Who does Eddie Hearn wants to win? No.
Or he wants Dylan White to win.
Yeah. So there you go. If he goes 12 rounds, you know who's gonna get the decision. He already got it the first time, anyway. So.
No, he needs Dylan White to win because that Joshua rematch with White is big money outside of unification. So.
Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end the show now. We've been here for 2 hours.
I've only been here for an hour.
Yeah, well,
so not even, bro. Like 45 minutes. So keep going.
All right, we'll do another show. We'll do more shows this week because I have time. So yeah, I'll probably do another show tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know when I'm gonna do it.
I can't wait for Arturo's Boxing to show how many punches that Golovkin landed on Canelo and Canelo landed on Golovkin.
He already did a video on that. Oh no, he did a video on Fury against Wilder.
That fight was like 5 years ago. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? The second fight, bro. What are you talking about? That was like months ago.
That was 5 years ago.
No, 5 years. For you, it's 5 years ago. But for me, I had a point over there. I had a point over there. I said Golovkin won, right? Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
You didn't say that.
Come out the punches, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
The whole world has moved. Canelo's fought since then. The whole world's moved on from that fucking fight.
So what? Canelo had to fight, man. He had only one fight this year. He needed another one. Triple H only had two.
Time to end it.
This ain't no shitty fight. That was one hell of a fight, bro. I think they need to do a rubber match on that shit. It should happen. It should happen. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. If you're a boxing fan, you watch talent, you watch, you want to see something cool. That's definitely worth it. You want to see that third rubber match.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
You don't know what you're talking about.
The rubber match with Canelo and Triple G. Maybe it will happen maybe 2 years from now or a year from now, whatever.
No, that's going to be too late, man.
Yeah, I know, but you never know, man. 40 years old, he might pull it off. Man, not 40. 38 years old, he might pull it off. Something might happen. You never know.
I'm getting off this podcast. I've had
it.
All right.
You go to sleep, you British bastard, you.
All right. Thanks for showing up, guys. Probably see you tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. But thanks for coming. Everybody in the chat as well, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, on iTunes, and Spreaker, and Stitcher. Yeah, all over the place.
Snapchat.
Snapchat. No, we don't have Snapchat. What am I gonna use Snapchat for? Fuck. Post pictures of me.
I should have used Snapchat for that securing wealth.
We need to get some like BDA girls. Yeah, we'll put them on Snapchat and shit.
Definitely.
But good-looking ones, not like other channels who try to do that and they look like skanks.
I'm just gonna find a tranny, bro, and just go like, there you go, BDS.
Oh, overhand in the chat says King Bucho, are you doing the 2018 award show soon? Yes, we're gonna do an award show for the panelists, worst panelist, best panelist, funniest panelist. For also the boxing fights, fight of the year, etc. So stay tuned for that. We're preparing that show. And
Ass Liquor of the Year. Let's do that one.
The what?
Ass Liquor of the Year.
Yeah, Ass Liquor of the Year as well. Prediction of the year. I think you have been nominated. We'll see if you win. But anyways, anywhere in the chat, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
See you, bro.
See you.